the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody. I know. It's like saying happy colonoscopy, everybody. I know it's Monday. No one loves Monday, but I guess unless you're a weekend worker and this is your day off, then you love it. But for the most part, people not fans of Monday. But happy Monday, everybody. Hope you had a great week at the fair. Everything I heard was awesome. Everything I saw was awesome. Had a great fun fair. Great crowds out there. I was out there Saturday. Out there working actually with not for work but American Legion out there, and got a chance. Friday night they had great crowds out there for the concerts and everything. So and weather cooperated. I don't think we had one weather cancellation or delay at all for last week's fair. So good news there. Warmer Saturday, but certainly, boy howdy, has that changed over the weekend with the winds yesterday, bringing in cooler temps and things like that. We'll get you up to date for the weather this week. A little bit cooler than what you're used to, certainly over the weekend here. Some wind rolling in through. So we'll talk all about that here in just a few minutes. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. We got a full action-packed show today. We're going to start things off with this hour. Matt Bristol from Bristol Law Office is going to join us. Matt pops by once a month and gives us good legal advice on things when it comes to family law, financial law, personal, things like that. So we'll be talking more of that here this morning. He actually gives you more advice on to avoid seeing him than seeing him sometimes. So just saying. He is a lawyer, and so if you do some of the stuff he talks about, you probably wouldn't have to spend as much time with him on the back end. Just saying. But anyway, Matt Bristol will join us here, and we'll chit-chat about the law and all that good stuff here in a little bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Lori Schatz is going to be joining us, wearing her Kiwanis Club hat. Of course, they've got the Simon and Garfunkel tribute show coming up here in a few weeks. And also we'll give an update on other things with Kiwanis. Of course, the all-inclusive park, they're going forward with that as well, too. So I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about that, too. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we had candidate for governor hoping to represent the Republican Party, Jay Block. He joined us. He was actually in town for the fair this weekend, and he popped by the office on Friday, and I spoke with him for about 20, 25 minutes. So we're going to play that interview for you here in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, and he had a great little conversation with Jay Block. So we're going to play that for you about 9:15 this morning. Plus, we'll have all of your hourly features that include the news of the local and the national variety, as well as your town hall business update. It is Monday. Here in just a few minutes, we'll have your Roswell livestock report with Smiley Wooten, giving you a preview of what's going to be happening at the livestock sales this morning and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Man, I watched NFL this weekend, and I saw the Cowboys. They look good. Washington, they look bad. They're just they can't get out of their own way, and they played the Saints. And Saints ended up beating them. But there was a hot minute there where I don't think either team wanted to win that game. They were just – it was just a serious – like both teams, they'd take, a step forward and 2 back. And that was like that. But eventually Washington kept taking 4 steps back instead of 1. Take 1 forward and 4 back. And then New Orleans just taking 2 back. So they ended up beating them. But I don't know, man. It's frustrating to watch because I got lied to again, and I should have known that they're better than they are and all this, and everybody got excited, and for a hot minute I got all like, maybe this is the year they're going to be good, and I should have known. I'm too old to fall for this every time. But just watching them, it's like 1 minute you're like, oh, and then the next minute you're like, oh, it's like watching high school football. Because you're like 1 minute you see brilliance, and the next minute you're like, what was that boat? Because it's like kids. When kids, they do. It's how kids are. They pay attention sometimes they don't. And this is what it is. It felt like it was that. It's just anyway. I'm sure a lot of people will be complaining on Facebook this morning, but they're ready to. That's the part that makes me laugh the hardest. Is Washington has a Chase Young, for anybody that follows NFL. He's highly touted defensive player a couple years ago. They drafted him high. He's had a great year his rookie year. This year they came in and they expect him to be, the best player, since, I don't know, Newt Rockne. I don't know. But he shows up and he's not perfect. He needs help. He's not a god. And now everyone's ready to throw him out in the dumpster. Oh, he's trying. I was like, this guy, a year ago, you're ready to make him leader of the world. Now you're ready to. And it's fandom. It is, but it just makes me laugh so hard. And I watch. It's like, oh, he doesn't have a sack. We need to get rid of him. Like, wow, you guys. But yeah, it's frustrating. But anyway, I don't know why I watch football. Every time I'm like, this is stupid. I'm gonna get mad, and then nothing, and then I get wrapped up every time. So anyway, it's fun to watch, but I'm just like it's like young people when they're drinking, Friday night, ready to party. And then by Monday, it's like, I'll never drink again. That's me with the Redskins. I'll never sit here and get wrapped up in their nonsense. I do this every Monday. But every Friday, I'm like, woo, game on Sunday. That's me. All right. It is 12 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Get ready for some very gusty wind coming our way. We have a few cold fronts moving through the area. Not much rain, if any, with those systems, but it will be windy. Low 80s today and mostly sunny skies and a little bit breezy, partly cloudy overnight, and our low in the mid-50s. Then a very windy day coming up tomorrow. Some gusts up to 45 miles per hour, mid-80s, and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 42 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 79%. I think that's awesome. The fact that I just told you it's 42 degrees right now in Roswell, New Mexico. That makes that happy. Oh, but happy Columbus Day, by the way, or what is it called? Indigenous Peoples Day. All I'm saying is I'm looking at the National Weather Service website right now, and they are calling it Columbus Day. So that's as official as I got right here. So I'm going to go with that. I think everyone else is calling it Indigenous Peoples Day. That's what I've heard about 37 times today. I missed the memo that it was official. But whatever you want to call it today, it's Monday. Expect sunny skies and a high of 83 today. Winds will be breezy out of the south, 20 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 55 degrees, winds out of the south, 15 to 20. They will decrease down to 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. Tomorrow, our wind might get a speeding ticket tomorrow. Just saying. It's got potential to pick up a little bit. Sunny tomorrow, high of 84. I guess there's your good news. It's going to get 84 tomorrow. Winds are going to be out of the south, 10 to 20 early, then picking up out of the southwest, 25, 35. Could see wind gusts as high as 50 miles per hour tomorrow. So if you see that, yell at it to slow down and then try to give it a ticket. Anyway, so coming windy tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Clear skies overnight, low of 43. Winds out of the southwest, 20 to 30. Gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. That will decrease down 10 to 20 after midnight. Wednesday, sunny skies, cooler, mid-70s for a high, 76 officially. Northwest winds back to manageable 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny skies, highs back near 80. 81 officially is what they're saying. And then Friday, sunny. Wow, it's another big drop. So we're going to be 80. We're going to go 76 on Wednesday, 81 on Thursday, and then back down to 72 on Friday. So I don't know if that's more wind blowing around, but we're going to be in the 70s for the weekend too. 72 Saturday as well, and then 75 on Sunday. So I don't think we're going to see 90 anymore. I remember I said last week, I said I predict Saturday will be our last 90-degree day of 2021, and so far I'm collecting on that bet, and I think I'm pretty safe. But we'll see. All right, it is 7:16, and before we take a quick commercial break, have you been by Zia Guns USA here in Roswell recently? You didn't go Saturday because they're closed, but yesterday they were open. That's the cool thing about Zia Guns. They're open every day, but Saturdays. They're even open on Sundays, but they are closed on Saturdays because they believe you should spend Saturdays with family. That's what they do, and they recommend you do the same. But they got some great deals right now. If you're looking for the Tacticams, Zia Guns here in Roswell is now a full-line Tacticam dealer. These are the same cams that you see on hunting shows all over shows across the country. These are the same ones. They've got them for sale right here at Zia Guns. They got a new shipment of knives in stock, case and Benchmade knives. So you got to come and check those out. And as always, they're buying guns. If you've got firearms, they're buying them by the piece, by the collection. Even if there's like an estate sale or something, they'll go in and buy up all the guns there too. And they're making cold hard cash offers. So if you need cash, you walk in the store, they'll make you an offer. You walk out the door, cold hard cash. Coffee drinkers, don't forget Zia Guns USA. They've got the entire line of Black Rifle coffee there at Zia Guns. Also, you may have seen the Dr. Squatch soap and accessories, that product line for men. But you're always like, well, I see them online, and they got all these smells, but I don't know what they smell like. They always have, like a forest pine, but, you get a hint, but you don't know. You don't have to kind of order it and then guess what it's going to smell like. Go on down to Zia Guns. You can buy it there. You can smell it there. You can lick it there if you want. I don't care. But they might care. But, eating soap is generally considered bad, so I wouldn't. But if you want to, you could check it out for yourself right there at Zia Guns USA. Stop on by 1907 North Main here in Roswell. And like I said, they're open every day but Saturdays. Even on Sundays they're open but closed on Saturdays. So stop on by 1907 North Main here in Roswell. All right, 7:18. Let's go ahead and we're going to take a 3-minute and 50-second commercial break. First, we'll do your Roswell Livestock Report with Smiley Wooten and a quick break. And then on the other side, Matt Bristol with Bristol Law Office will join us. Don't go away.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack.
Fergalicious.
In fact, they're downright funky.
Fergalicious.
Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660.
Fergalicious.
What does it feel like using a hot tub in your own backyard? Imagine sitting in your hot tub, looking at the stars as hot water melts away the stresses of the day. The powerful massage jets relax your sore muscles and help relieve any muscle pain. Can you imagine the serene relaxation, all from your own backyard? Choose a spa of your own at All About Spa's parking lot sale. You don't want to miss this event. The sale is this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 to 6 on North Main, right across from Discount Tire.
It's all right here at All About Spas.
Where can you find the best selection of beautiful and unique home decor in the region? Easy, Casa Decor in Ruidoso. For years, people from all over have come to Casa Decor for the best selection of rustic, real wood furniture, beautiful decor from the Southwest and beyond, and quality outdoor furniture and accessories that are built to last a lifetime. At Casa Decor, they have over 10,000 square feet of showroom for everything you need. Casa Decor opens 7 days a week from 9:30 to 5 at 1214 Meacham Drive in Ruidoso or online at casadecorruidoso.com. Proud supporter of local high school sports.
You don't want to bring your car to just anyone. You want to bring it to someone you know. Someone who will tell it to you straight. And someone you trust to do a quality job because they care about you. You want to bring it to Big O Tires. We're locally owned, which means we're your neighbors. And neighbors help neighbors whenever they can. Right now, save $100 instantly on select sets of 4 Big O brand tires. When you need to bring your car to someone, bring it to your neighbors at Big O Tires. Because we love giving our neighbors a great deal. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. See store for details.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good October run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves, light yearlings, cow-calf pairs, and young open cows. We expect to sell 2,000 head, breaking down like this: 400, 450 weighing cows and bulls, 125, 150 pairs of bred cows, 1,350, 1,400 calves and yearlings. Today's sale will include 250 cows from the Diamond A Western Division, Animas, New Mexico, ex-quality black and red Angus crossbred cows to include 50 2- and 3-year-old opens, 80 4- and 6-year-old opens, and 100 old and older opens, also 21 young cow-calf pairs, several smaller sets of young opens and pairs, and bred cows. 98 calves, Miss Joyce Halderman, Encino, New Mexico, ex-quality Charolais crossbred calves, shots at Brandon, 375, 575 pounds, 80 calves and light yearlings, Texas Mountain Ranch, Marfa, Texas, ex-quality black Brangus crossbreds, Cattlemeister 5/8 weigh, 400, 600 pounds, 66 calves and light yearlings, Sharp Ranch, Corona, New Mexico, ex-quality black Angus and exotic crossbreds, shots at Brandon, 400, 700 pounds, 87 calves, Mr. David Gable, Roe Mesa, New Mexico, ex-quality black whiteface, red whiteface Angus crossbreds, shots at Brandon, 300, 450 pounds, 49 calves, Mr. George Kostrowitz, Carrizosa, New Mexico, ex-quality black Angus cross calves, Bovashield Gold 7-way, 400, 600 pounds, 46 calves, Buena Suerte Farms, Mesilla Park, New Mexico, ex-quality black whiteface Angus and Brangus crosses, shots at Brandon, 400, 550 pounds, 65 calves, Mr. Buster Day, Meadows, Texas, ex-quality black whiteface Angus and Brangus cross calves, medium condition, 400, 550 pounds, 48 calves, Mr. Calvin Brown, over at Cedarvale, New Mexico, ex-quality black whiteface, red whiteface English crosses, Cattle Master 5 and 7-way, 350, 450 pounds, and 43 calves, the White House Ranch, Daddle, New Mexico, ex-quality black whiteface Angus cross calves, thin to medium condition, 350, 500 pounds. Sale time this morning, 9 o'clock. Sell pairs, bred cows, 10:30 to 11. Be selling calves and yearlings about 11 to 11:30. We expect to sell 2,000 head here today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from Bristol Law Office, Matt Bristol back with us. Good morning.
Morning, Mike. How are you doing?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Doing good. Sorry to hear about your Washington team. I know they're your faves. But you did call them the Redskins.
I did?
Yeah.
Well, till they get a name, that's what I'm calling them.
They still don't have a formal name yet?
Allegedly, they're going to announce January of 22.
Oh.
That's what they say.
Well, who knows?
Well, that's just it. I don't know if they know.
Speaking of Washington, D.C., tomorrow we're going to have Washington, D.C. weather.
We do.
It's going to be blowhard.
That's right. Yeah. Only thing is, I think their difference is hot wind versus ours.
Those people need adult supervision up there, I swear.
It's if it wasn't true, it'd be a comedy. I tell you, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like watching some kind of slapstick Three's Company style comedy here. So,
yeah.
I know I'm dating myself with a Three's Company reference, but
Three Stooges.
That's probably a little more apt.
Yeah, geez, those guys drive me crazy up there.
Absolutely. For folks that aren't familiar, Matt Bristol joins us once a month and gives sound legal advice, and we talk about and generally speaking, it's usually advice to avoid. You know, if you do a lot of the stuff we're talking about here, it generally makes things go easier when problems arise down the road. And they're going to. That's just life, you know?
Yeah, it's just life. Cars break, washing machines break, and stuff's going to happen, and it's a lot cheaper to avoid problems than have the problems happen and try and fix them.
Yeah, what's the saying you say a lot? An ounce of prevention
is worth a pound of cure.
A pound of cure.
Absolutely.
That's generally, although it's maybe not information you want to hear, it's information that's very true.
Just got to take care of business.
Absolutely.
It's all business. You just got to take care of business.
Absolutely. So the topic for this month, it kind of spawned just from personal events here and things like that. But I did want to kind of talk a little bit about options for folks when it comes to the end of the road here. When there's people dealing with this right now. There's people that will be dealing with this in the future.
Oh, yeah.
We all age. We all get older. We're all going to leave this earth at some point or another. And, when we talk about planning and things, there's insurance available to kind of help out with, say, when it gets time to you or your spouse need long-term care and help to pay for the costs of that so you don't drain your finances basically trying to pay for end-of-life care for yourself or for a spouse. There's insurance in place. But if you're not, if you have pre-existing conditions, things like that, it's very hard to get those things because no insurance company is because insurance companies don't want to pay out.
I haven't seen one go broke yet.
Exactly. So they put, a lot of requirements to be eligible for some of these.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that won't be able to meet these requirements. So where does that leave them? And that's where I wanted to talk about a little bit and just kind of, because you're still going to have to happen and someone's got to pay for it and you don't want it to drain your family. How do you do that?
Well, yeah, some people self-insure, but you better plan that years in advance to save up enough money for that to happen.
Most people in their 20s aren't thinking about what they're going to do for long-term care 50 years down the road.
No, they aren't.
Yeah.
But we do have Medicaid.
Yeah.
So if a spouse has to go into a nursing home for long-term care, we have Medicaid. So Medicaid is actually federal money administered by the state. And so different states have different regulations on how that is treated. So this is very state-specific stuff. Also, the regulations are many, many, many pages, so we can kind of hit the highlights today. But there are, once you get in the weeds, there's lots of weeds.
Sure.
So one of the things is if we can pick on a husband because typically husbands are older.
Yeah, we make dumber decisions and are less healthier.
There you go.
Hold my beer, check this out, wasn't invented by a woman. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, y'all, watch this.
Yeah. just facts.
So if a husband has to go into a nursing home, he can apply for Medicaid to pick up the cost. So there's an income test and there's an asset test. So if the husband has too much income, that's an easy fix. That's called an income diversion trust. But if there's an asset test, they look at all the community assets, the assets of both spouses. And in New Mexico, at least, you're only allowed about $2,000 cash.
Wow.
Not much.
So you really have to either spend or hide your money. Legally, of course.
Yeah. So a home is not considered an asset if there's an intent to return home. So you always check yes on that no matter what.
Sure.
There's a 5-year look-back period on transfers of property. So spending your money is legal. Transferring your property, not so much.
Gotcha.
So you can prepay for a funeral. You can make improvements to the house, to the car. You could pre-purchase some of the things the spouse is going to need in the nursing home. Because Medicaid only covers certain bare necessities. Maybe one box of Kleenex a month, one box of diapers.
Oh, wow.
That's it. So you can pre-purchase a lot of that
So
stuff.
you don't have to ration out your tissues.
Right. So you spending the money is okay, but the 5-year look-back period on transfers of money.
Gotcha.
Transferring it to a child or friend or something like that.
Sure. Yeah, because ideally you don't want the long-term care to drain the finances so the other one who's not in long-term care can live. And that's unfortunately where people are having problems is, now all the assets are gone. Now the one that's not in nursing care or long-term care has no food, no water, no place to live because it's all got taken to pay for the other one. And that's the unfortunate truth. If people don't prepare a little bit, that's what could happen to them.
Well, and worse than that is if the husband goes in the nursing home and applies for Medicaid, he assigns over his income to the nursing home or to the Medicaid program.
Okay.
And Medicaid just picks up the cost differential. Okay. The husband's income just went out the window.
Yeah.
The wife at home no longer has husband's income. She's living on her typically lower Social Security check only. So people don't realize that money's going out the window. It's going to disappear.
Yeah.
So it's you got to think ahead on this kind of stuff and kind of plan.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, obviously, when you plan for retirement and all things, you're hoping, that's when you work in some of this stuff. But if you have pre-existing conditions, some of the avenues that are available to you aren't available to you on some of these, and that's. And to be honest, it was my wife and I. We were doing some research on getting, hey, we're in our 40s now. We're thinking maybe we should get something like this in case one of us have to do some long-term care here. And we had a rude awakening with Kim's Turners. No one wants to really. Now we've got to see if there's some other companies looking in, and we've got some resources checking out. But it's turning into something bigger than we thought. And so if you are in that same boat, you might want to think about it earlier rather than later on this, because it might be a little trickier for you to get something in place than the average person does.
Well, especially the older you get, probably the more costly it is.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing to think
it's
about.
Kind of like buying life insurance. The older you get, the more money they want from you.
Yeah. So you might think about it in your 40s instead of sending $500 a month to an insurance company, is just take that $500 and invest it somewhere.
Sure.
And that way, at least it's growing.
Yeah.
Oh, because you got 25 years for that money to grow.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Unless you do here, hold my beer.
Yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. It's like people, you really need to think about this because, it just stumbled in my world, and I was like, we need to think about this. So.
Well, New Mexico, as we've mentioned before, husbands and wives can contract with each other. In fact, I looked it up the other day just for the program, and it's the law is 40-2-2. Either husband or wife may enter into any engagement or transaction with the other. So husband and wives can contract with each other.
Okay.
And so one of the contracts a husband and wife can make, that's actually here in the Medicaid code, is a post-nup, post-marriage separation agreement, separating assets and debts.
Okay.
So it separates, it needs to be done 50-50.
Sure.
And if the 5-year period is not specifically laid out that you have to do it more than 5 years before the Medicaid application, but that's probably a whole lot cleaner because then the question doesn't even come up.
Now, will that offer some protection to the spouse if there comes to a time down the road where they're going to want to drain the assets here and that'll protect some of the spouse's assets?
Yes.
Okay.
So if husband and wife do a post-nup, so these are your 50% of the assets, here's my 50% of the assets. I'm not liable for your future debts, including nursing home costs. You're not liable for my future debts, including nursing home costs.
Okay.
So if the husband goes into the nursing home and applies for Medicaid, they look at his community half of the assets, they look at his sole and separate property, and they look at the spouse's community property. But if you have a post-nup, there's no community property except maybe the house.
Gotcha.
So the husband and wife can still own the house together. That's fine because that's not an asset as long as there's an intent to return home. They can keep each other's beneficiaries on life insurance, bank accounts, retirement, whatever.
Okay.
Still
so
together.
then, in fact, any bequeathing afterwards.
Does not at all.
Gotcha. Okay.
But when they look at, okay, well, wife, what are your community assets? Wife says, zip. All my stuff is sold separate, and it's $500,000, and you can't touch it. So that preserves her half the assets.
Gotcha. Excellent.
So that post-nup does work to protect assets.
But you got to do it ahead of time, and you try to do it too close up, they're gonna not let you pull that.
Well, it's silent on that.
Yeah.
There's I don't know that there's been any, at least court cases on it, and I don't know about administrative.
Is this like a
decisions.
loophole that really hasn't been tested yet, or is this?
It's allowed by the administrative code.
Okay.
It says and I'll give you the citation, but it's really long.
Okay.
Let's see. To rebut community property status, the applicant for the Medicaid must document the property was acquired before marriage or after divorce, designate as separate property by a judgment. So in New Mexico, that's a legal separation.
Okay.
Legal separation is a court document that separates assets and debts. It doesn't separate the couple.
Okay. Okay.
Or D, designated as separate property by a written agreement between the spouses.
Okay.
Bingo.
Interesting.
It doesn't say the 5-year thing there.
Okay.
So we don't know for sure it has to be more than 5 years. Now, 2 weeks before the application is probably a little too soon.
Yeah, you don't want to test that theory.
Correct. Yeah.
Not with your own assets anyway. You want to watch someone else do it with theirs. That's their prerogative. But you don't want to do that with yours.
Yeah. So you could do that in your 40s.
Yeah.
Sole and separate property agreement that says, your assets are yours, mine are mine. And
sure. Now, how does that affect, paying for it and all that in the meantime? And, is that, like, for instance, like say right now, the home my wife and I, it's in both of our names, and I'm probably the primary because of the veteran status and all that. But
community property is 50-50.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as the responsibility on the loan is what I mean, not so much the
community debt's 50-50.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I guess anyway. How does that work? Does that affect any of that? So say, because I don't necessarily want her off the house. I want her on there. I want all of that. What if I die tomorrow? I don't want her to fight for the house. I want her to have the house. How does that affect any of that?
A sole and separate property agreement typically says, and the parties can choose to own things jointly if they wish.
Okay.
So you can continue to own the house together.
Okay.
The next house you buy, you could own together.
But will they be able to go after it in an asset situation down the road, or is that going to be protected?
The house is not an asset as long as there's an intent for the spouse to return home from the nursing home.
Okay. Which 9 times out of 10, when it's going to long-term care, that's not the case.
Doesn't matter. You always check the box, yes.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter if the doctor says we're putting her in the nursing home because she's got 6 weeks to live.
Okay.
When it comes to the question, is there intent to return home? You check yes.
You're the eternal optimist every time.
Always just check yes,
Okay.
no matter what. Check yes, yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
So at least in this state. Now, in other states, they will make you sell your home, is what I've heard.
Okay.
Now, that's pretty damn horrible.
That's rough. Yeah. That's.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand, companies aren't in soup kitchens, but at the same time, we don't need to destroy people's lives to take care of end of life for somebody while a company keeps sucking up the assets.
Well, this is a Medicaid regulation. It's not the nursing home regulation.
Okay.
So, but I've heard in some states, you may be able to keep up to $15,000 cash instead of $2,000. New Mexico, it's $2,000. New Mexico, the house is not an asset if there's an intent to return home. In other states, I've heard they force you to sell the home. Yeah, so it depends state by state.
So check in on that one in local states here, but
before you go retire somewhere else, you might go look
check with
into
Florida
that.
or Texas or wherever people go to retire now. Check the rules there.
Yeah, I check with that. And here, that's called the Income Support Division. Those are the people in charge, and those are the people you talk to.
I would think a state like Florida's better on because they've got. I'm guessing per capita, they're doing more retirements and these kind of things in other states just because retirees go to Florida and Arizona more than other places. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, you hear that, but that's probably mainly people from northern parts of the country where they have really bad winters.
Yeah.
Tend to go farther south. Here, our winters are just fine.
Yeah. All I know is every time I go to Florida, there's a lot of old people blocking up highways. That's all I know. They need more bus systems there. Yeah. But I think if you take nothing away from this conversation here, is think about it. Have a plan. Let's just don't go the world's my oyster and go off and live your life and then when these problems arise at some point, because I'm not gonna lie to you, you're gonna be dealing with this. Every single person, if it's not you yourself directly, it's a loved one that you know nearby or something, you're going to be dealing with these kinds of situations some point in your life. And it's again, be prepared.
Yeah, and we tease a lot about it. People say, oh, well, just, take me out and let the coyotes get me.
And put me in a coffee can and bury me in the backyard, all that mess.
Yeah, we tease about it a lot. But there was a situation where husband and wife, and they had named each other on their powers of attorney, but only each other. There's no plan B.
Oh, okay.
So just each other, and that was it.
So if they've died in a plane crash or something together, there'd be nobody to do their stuff, right?
Well, what happened was his husband goes into the nursing home with dementia. But he had given his financial power of attorney to the wife, so she could still do finance, pay bills and stuff, and make the house payments, utilities, and handle, what she could. And then she was diagnosed stage 4 cancer.
Oh, no.
So now he can't give a power of attorney to anybody else before she dies because he's not competent.
Yeah.
And he's the only one that can give a power of attorney. She can't assign or transfer the power of attorney she has from him.
Wow.
So when she passed away, he's stuck. He's screwed.
That's unfortunate.
So you got to take care of those things, have alternates.
So what happens to him in that situation? Is he just beholden to whatever the government does at this point, or
good or bad? He actually passed away first.
Okay, so it didn't. But say he.
But she was trying to plan for her passing away first, and it's like, well, how do we set up an account where somebody else can help with the money? And it's like, well, that's pretty tough because the bank.
And did they have kids or anything, or?
Don't think they had kids.
Wow,
no. But still, they didn't name anybody secondary on the power of attorney when they could have and could have avoided the whole thing.
Sure.
So now they're stuck with, well, if she had passed first and he was still in a nursing home, now you got to get guardianship over him, which is an expensive process. Mm-hmm. Okay, $5,000 to $10,000 just to handle stuff. Oh my God.
Yeah. Now you understand Thelma and Louise a little bit more, huh? After some of these.
Yeah. So there's, situations happen that you don't even realize that, oh my God, that's a horrible situation. I never thought of that happening.
Yeah. And hopefully you never have to worry about those things, but it sure would be unfortunate if it does come across and you have nothing in place to try to combat that or at least work with that. And that would be, it's really that, and that's the part that hurts is these are people that have worked their whole lives to do these things and set things up, and because of a technicality or a
twist of fate,
as a freak occurrence, now all of that's turned into jeopardy here, and that's rough. Yeah. That's hard to swallow.
And there's a lot of that you can plan for. So they could have fixed that with powers of attorney, with alternates. But maybe they thought, well, there's time. And so then it's not always time. So as soon as you or your spouse, you start recognizing those early signs of dementia, there's early signs of Alzheimer's. So get those powers of attorney done, the will's done. So the legal competency to make a will is the lowest legal competency there is.
Okay.
It's low.
Gotcha.
So if you're out of it, okay, you got dementia to where 10 o'clock in the morning you're not really there. At 10:30 you're all there. Sign the will. 10:45 you're out. Well, that's a good will.
Okay.
Because at the moment you sign the will,
as long as at the time you're signing it, you're in a moment of clarity.
Yep.
You're considered good to go.
You're good to go.
Very good.
Powers of attorney, same way.
Okay.
Because the law wants people to have those things in place.
Well, absolutely. You want to be able to make those decisions, and unfortunately, in those situations, you may only have minutes to get what you need out of it. So you better take advantage of it.
Yeah. So all those things have early signs. So when you see the early signs, start getting the paperwork ready.
Yeah, and I know. And here's the rough part is the mental part, because let's face it, that's going to be the hardest time in probably your life. You and your family, you're physically coming to face with mortality here. You know what I mean? And some people have mentally prepared for that. Some people have not, and some people are preparing for that. But that reaction to that is very broad and varied. And even if you think you yourself are like, oh, if I get that decision, I'm there. I'll be like, all right, well, it's in God's hands. Okay. But until someone says it to you, to your face, and it's real, you can't really know how you're going to react to that or how you're going to. So to give yourself the best chance, no matter how bad something's going to come to you, it's this what we're talking about here. Doing a little preparation, these moments are probably the worst things that happen in people's lives. But with just a little bit of preemptive thought about this and a couple of plans to set the table in case these happen, it will make the transition so much easier, more so from your family and everybody else. That's, once you got dementia, I think most of us, I think that way. If I got dementia, it's like, dude, just do as little for me as possible. I may not get it at the time. I get it now. And trust me, I understand. So, but I say that now, but it's hard to say that when you're in that situation,
Or people say, well, if I've got dementia, I won't know what's going on anyway.
Yeah.
So I won't care. Well, but there's everybody else.
Yeah.
Especially the spouse you leave behind.
Sure.
So it's one of those things where, I teach wilderness survival, and it's number one rule is you don't panic. Typically people panic when they're in a situation they've never experienced. So if you never think about this and all of a sudden it happens, you've never experienced this, people panic and they have
irrational
fear,
decisions. Yeah.
Irrational decisions, or they freeze. So if you start planning for it now, discussing it now, get the paperwork now for in the event one of us has this, now you're experiencing, now you're planning. And so in the future, when it does happen, it's like, okay, I've done this before. We've talked about this before. I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to freeze.
Yeah. Hopefully you both live healthy, and then you both get hit by a bus at 105.
There you go.
Together. And that's it. But odds are pretty good that's not how it's going to happen that way. It's going to be something else. And we can't prepare fully for everything, but you can do as much as possible to give yourself and your family the best chance to be overall prepared for whatever possibility happens, whether it's something in the natural timeline or something freak accident or occurrence. Either way, you at least have options, and that's the key.
Got to have a plan. Yep.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
Yeah. I mean, even if none of the options aren't the most ideal, because they aren't. I mean, when you're dealing with death and loss and things like that, no one wants to make those decisions. No one does. But to have options, to have the ability, well, we could go this way or we could go this way, with just a little bit of planning in the this time when I know it's not fun, I know it's not sexy, I know it's like the dentist where you're like, oh, my teeth are fine, I don't need to go. It's that mindset. But please trust me, having a conversation with Matt Bristol or with your family and getting this stuff lined up, it's going to save you so much hassle, headache, and turmoil when the time comes, because it's going to come at some point. Hopefully it's not long time down the road, but when that time comes, when there's loss in the family and you're dealing with picking up the pieces, it's going to make it that much easier when that happens.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially the nursing home thing, because your spouse can only have $2,000 in the bank. And, you may not care if you have dementia because you don't know what's going on, but the spouse you're leaving behind is now broke.
Everyone in your family are dealing with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's think about the other people for a change and make their lives easier.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I've said the same joke. I'm like, hey, shoot, I get dementia. That's gonna be a great ride. I don't care. You know what I mean? But it's a disease of your family. It really is. You're the one suffering through it, but they're suffering from the side effects. You're just there.
Yeah.
But anyway, plan. Think about this. Have a conversation. Talk with your family. Get these wills taken care of. Start having a plan on what happens if, and then let's get those things happening and get that ball rolling. You're going to be so happy down the road.
Like you said, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It's so much cheaper to plan ahead and prevent things from going wrong.
Sure. I mean, you see a lot on TV nowadays for funeral planning, where you can actually plan your own funeral and put down the deposit. That's a great idea because most people fight. Well, who are they like? This is that, but 10 times better. And it might save the fight at the funeral, what they're doing, but this is saving the fight in the courtroom and the fight for your house and the fight for. So I mean, if you look at that and you're thinking that's a great idea, plan. This is a great idea too, but 10 times bigger impact if you don't do it. So if you look at that stuff, it's like we should do that. Well, before you plan your funeral, let's plan what happens before the funeral and where your money goes and who gets it and what happens to it. So.
Yeah, because at least with the funeral, maybe there's some life insurance for your spouse you're leaving behind, but at a nursing home, you're leaving your spouse broke.
Exactly, you are. You're and you hear horror stories of people in their 70s and 80s. Couples getting divorced to protect assets and things like that, and that'd be awful to have to go through that.
Yeah, and I've had that phone call.
Yeah.
Hi, my spouse is going to need to go into the nursing home, and we heard that we need to divorce. And I said, no, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
So let's do the post up, and we'll do it that way, but plan early, just so it's the more in advance you do it, the less likely it's going to be questioned or contested.
True, and be warned that if you have pre-existing conditions, and I'm talking things like even diabetes, things like these are going to be, I'm not saying they disclude you outright, but they're going to want to dig a little deeper and do a little, and there's certain conditions like my wife has one of these conditions. I mean, she's fine, she's not, but it's one of these conditions that insurance companies are like, we are not touching that for a long time.
Can't get the long-term coverage, right?
So you need to have another plan. And if that was your plan A and plan only, you might, that's what don't find this out in your 40s or when you're younger and healthier than when you're in your 70s and might actually need to have this kind of stuff happening. So just saying.
Well, there you go. She needs to buy stock in the company that turned her down because they're never going to go broke.
Yeah, buy them out. And then pray for dementia so she can use it.
We're so bad.
A little bit. Of course, if you have any questions about anything we talked about today, or if you're having some own legal and law issues when it comes to family law, any of that stuff, Matt Bristol and Bristol office can help you take care of those issues. Go to bristollawoffice.com. You can read up on Matt and everything. You can also schedule an appointment for a consultation there as well. Give out your phone number, too, if they want to call it or have a question or something, or like schedule an appointment that way.
The phone number is 625-5284, bristollawoffice.com, and we're doing in-person or over-the-phone appointments, whatever people prefer.
Okay.
Especially some out-of-town people. It's easier for them to do by phone.
Sure, absolutely.
And then we have some people who are homebound.
Especially gas prices right now. Thanks, Joe Biden.
Yeah, thank you, Joe Biden. Hey, it was all great just a few months ago.
Hey, I know. Let's close down our pipeline and beg the Arabs to make more gas. Yeah, that's a good idea.
At least we're producing our own natural gas.
Yeah, exactly. But another story for another day. But definitely check it out. Let Matt Bristol. And if you don't want to go to somebody, please. Don't let this stuff linger, fester. It's going to hurt you down the road. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when.
Yeah, folks, listeners, if you already know somebody who knows this stuff, then call them, somebody.
But if you don't, Matt Bristol will help you out with everything, every stretch of it, and get you on the right path.
Be glad to.
Excellent. Well, thank you, sir.
So we have time for
yeah, let's do one. I forgot. Thank you. Let's do that.
We have some time. Okay.
Yeah.
So in the Greek tradition, the Greeks did not believe in human sacrifice. That was a big no-no.
Okay.
Now the Romans believed in human sacrifice. Just look at what they did in the Colosseum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Proof's in the pudding there.
There you go. But for the Greeks, that was a huge no-no.
Okay. They were a little more respectful of life or cherishing of life.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So the story is that there was this king. His name was Tantalus, and he got weirded out one day, and so he got the idea of having a banquet, and he was going to serve human flesh, but just not tell the guests.
Oh.
Yeah, big taboo.
Yeah.
Really bad. And so the gods got wind of this, and they said, he can't be that crazy. Nobody does that. Surely he's not that much of a goofball. So one of the gods disguised themselves as a guest and went to the banquet. And everybody's, having their appetizers and wine and stuff, and it's getting closer to the meal and closer to the meal, and Tantalus still hasn't backed out yet. And so here comes the banquet, and the meat's laid out on the table, and God's waiting for Tantalus to back out any minute, and he doesn't. And this guest is about to take a bite, and finally the god throws off his disguise, and he says, BS. And he says, this is wrong. This is bad. Don't
eat that.
Yeah, don't eat that meat. And so he curses King Tantalus.
Okay.
And so the curse is he's in a lake, and he's up to his neck in water. But every time he bends down to drink, the water recedes. So he's always thirsty, can never drink.
Okay.
And on the shore of the lake, there's this big tree with this gorgeous looking fruit. It's always ripe. It's always in season. But when he tries to pick the fruit, the branches lift up.
Okay.
And so the food's always out of his reach. So he can never eat. He can never drink. And so if you want something so bad, it was just beyond his reach.
Uh-huh.
And if something's just beyond your reach and you want it so bad, it is said to...
I would say beyond your reach. What's the term?
Tantalize.
Okay. Now,
From King Tantalus.
Tantalus. All right, so that's where tantalizing comes from.
That's where tantalizing comes from. Yeah.
Interesting.
Just beyond your reach when it's so bad.
Interesting. The other lesson there is ask for a friend to help you. But anyway, together we can get you some fruit. Matt, as always, appreciate
Enjoyed it, Mike.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much, and good luck to your Washington team.
Yeah, we got some losses coming up soon. We'll get right on those. All right, it is 7:57, Chatham County Sports Update, and a quick break. Don't go away.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. After dropping down a notch from the highest classification, maybe some folks thought that Mayfield would be kind of a meek and mild football program. Not so. Ask the Goddard Rockets. Mayfield won on Friday night 20-13. That was only Goddard's second loss of the season, and the Rockets had a chance to tie at the end. Incomplete pass from inside the 10 as time expired. So Roswell, meanwhile, took it on the chin against Dumas, Texas. Dumas wins that one 53-0. That was on the road for the Coyotes. Hagerman beats back Loving by a score of 45-6. Jonah Bejarano, 335 yards passing, 232 of those to Dorian Galvan. Dexter loses to West Las Vegas 39-27. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Today we're going to give you the 5th key to a great marriage, taken from Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The 5th key is commitment, living the love you promised.
Galatians 6:9 says, "And let us not get tired of doing what is right, for after a while we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't get discouraged and give up." One of the keys to commitment is just deciding in your heart, I'm never giving up on God, I'm never giving up on my marriage, I'm never giving up on my family.
Commitment is a promise made and kept by two imperfect people. It's good for our kids to see that problems happen and we're committed to solving them together.
If you want all 5 keys to a great marriage, you can go to our website at jomconference.com.
Christmas came early at Richland Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. A huge inventory has finally arrived at the dealership. Every type of Ram truck you've been waiting for. 2500s, 3500s, even some 4500s. Been looking for a new Dodge Charger or Challenger? They've got them at Richland. And don't go far looking for a new Jeep, Wranglers, Cherokees, Gladiators, even some work vans. It's like Christmas came early. But hurry, these will go fast. Richland on Southeast Main in Roswell.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
On a more militaristic look this year amid ongoing threats from Communist China.
As celebrations mark Taiwan's National Day, President Tsai Ing-wen promised to resist Chinese military threats. We will do our utmost to prevent the status quo from being unilaterally altered. A rare show of Taiwanese defense capabilities in the annual parade underlined her stance to maintain Taiwan's sovereignty. We will continue to bolster our national defense and demonstrate our determination to defend ourselves. I'm Karen Chamas.
The U.S. and the Taliban have held their first formal talks since the American withdrawal from Afghanistan, the pullout that handed the country over to the Taliban.
The Taliban says the discussions went well, with Washington freeing up humanitarian aid for the country. However, the U.S. team's statement was less definitive, saying only that the two sides discussed provision of robust humanitarian assistance directly to the Afghan people.
Correspondent Charles De Ledesma says U.S. negotiators insist this is not a prelude to formal recognition of the Taliban government. Several arrests following a mass shooting early yesterday in St. Paul, Minnesota. One person was killed, more than a dozen others wounded by the gunfire in a bar near downtown St. Paul. Mayor Melvin Carter with an attaboy for police.
Our officers were able to respond immediately, and we're pleased and appreciative of their service as well. We are, of course, heartened to see arrests made in the case.
The mayor speaking with KSTP TV5 Eyewitness News. Stocks in positive territory on Wall Street this morning. Right now, the Dow up 168 points, the NASDAQ ahead 62, and the S&P 19 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Mounds and mounds of fur. Our hairballs have hairballs.
Marquette Mama, she's 10 years old. She has dandruff and an oily coat.
I have two cats, Dixie and Daisy. Daisy sheds like crazy.
If you love your pets as much as I do, you want to do what's best for them to live long, healthy, happy lives.
DINOVITE.com. I just tried this wonderful Catalicious Dynavite for cats, and my cat has been on it for 2 weeks. She is not scratching anymore. She's not chewing anymore. It is just the best.
I was thrilled when I heard Dynavite for cats was coming out because I'd seen the changes in my dog. To introduce my cat to Dynavite, I took the advice from Dynavite and put their food on top of just a scoop in the bowl, just to get them used to it, because I know if I even switch one little thing, they put their nose up to it. There was not one problem.
Dynavite for life.
You won't believe how happy your cat will be.
DINOVITE.com.
The health of the former president of the Republic of Georgia said to have deteriorated significantly after the imprisoned ex-leader spent 10 days on a hunger strike.
A doctor treating the jailed ex-president Mikhail Saakashvili told Georgian media that his patient had lost 14 kilograms while on hunger strike. He said Mr. Saakashvili was moving heavily and his speech was blurred. However, a statement from the prison administration where Mr. Saakashvili is being held said that his health condition was satisfactory. Saakashvili is in prison after being convicted in absentia of abuses of power while in office, but his supporters say he is a political prisoner.
That's the BBC's Rehan Dimitri. Talks between Indian and Chinese army commanders to disengage troops from key friction areas along their border have ended with a stalemate, failing to ease a 17-month standoff that has sometimes led to deadly clashes. News and analysis at townhall.com. Overwhelmed by medical bills? Well, there may be some help for that.
Roughly 1 in 7 U.S. residents with a credit record has medical debt in collections, according to the nonprofit Urban Institute. Hospitals have ways to keep more people from joining those ranks. Those can include income-based discounts, payment plans, help finding health insurance, or waiving a bill and writing it off as charity care. People frequently miss notices in their bills about assistance or have trouble plowing through the paperwork to qualify. That's according to patient counselors. I'm Julie Walker.
He is a Navy nuclear engineer with access to military secrets. Jonathan Toby under arrest, accused of trying to sell sensitive information to a foreign government. The Boston Marathon got underway this morning, the world's oldest, most prestigious annual marathon, being run for the first time since the pandemic struck. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to our number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters. Thank you, Tanner, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday, everybody. Sean will be back with us, I believe, on Wednesday. He's out of town for a couple days. He'll be back with us later on this week and back on the brand over on our sister station as well here in a few days. So, happy Monday. Hope everybody having a wonderful day so far. I know it's Monday, but you're up. You're out and about. That's half the battle. So, good job. You made it there. Fair was had a great week at the fair. I think everything went well. Had a great turnout, great shows, livestock. Everything was all great. I think we had weather was even worked out for us. Got a little warm this weekend out there. Ain't gonna lie, but the weather held out perfectly. All the wind and everything came in yesterday, and going to bring cooler temperatures this week and more wind today, tomorrow especially, too. We'll get you up to date on all that here in just a few. Happening this hour on the show, we'll get weather and all that done here. Lori Schatz with Kiwanis here in Roswell going to join us, give us an update when they're there and talk about show happening at the Roswell Community Theater on November 6th. Fans of Simon and Garfunkel, you're going to want to get tickets for this show. Swearingen and Kelly, the music of Simon and Garfunkel happening Saturday, November 6th. 2 shows, a matinee at 2 and an evening show at 7:30 there at the Roswell Community Theater. Get your tickets right now. Reserve seats, which is kind of unusual at the Community Theater. A lot of their shows open sitting. This is reserve seating, so you go to roswelltheater.com. You can get your tickets, order your seats through there. They also have VIP tickets for $40. And that gets you a meet and greet with the group there and special seating and all that cool stuff. So some accoutrement and perks for being a VIP. And but Lori's going to join us here in just a few. We'll talk about that show and update on Kiwanis and all that stuff. So we got that coming up this hour along with your local news and your business updates and all the other features and everything like that. So that's what we got on tap for this weekend. You know what I did? I'm a fan of the Ted Lasso show. And so the season 2 finale came out Friday. And because they did this one episodic. Apple TV does theirs episodically when they release new shows. Like they just finished Ted Lasso. The season finale of Ted Lasso came out, which was all right. I'll get my thoughts on that here in a second, but they're like right now the there's a couple shows they've got they're doing episodically. One of the big ones is season 2 of what's the show called? It's the one where they're basically doing their version of the Matt Lauer Today Show mess. What's that show? I can't remember not the network. That was the HBO one, but whatever their show is on HBO that's about that. The season 2 version's out now, and it's got Jennifer Aniston, Steve Carell's the Matt Lauer character. Of course, he's not. It's more about the other characters, and he just pops in as a name from time to time on the show. But for the most part, it's Aniston and a couple of the other characters in there that they follow more. It's okay. I don't. To be honest, that show, I feel like they're trying so hard to be Aaron Sorkin-like and trying to be, we're going to make The West Wing. We're going to make The American President. We're the network, all those Aaron Sorkin shows that people like and follow. I feel like this show tried to be a version of that, and it's just not. It's not done nearly as well. The storylines and everything, the way they try to draw you into it, I don't know. It's just written different. It just doesn't. It's like a knockoff of Aaron Sorkin, and it doesn't come off good, and it's not nearly as good. But anyway, and I'm not talking about politics. I know people have their proclivities on Aaron Sorkin's politics. Whatever. I'm just talking about the product he puts out. And what I watch, I like it. So, anyway, I never. And then the Ted Lasso. That's a great show. I guess Sean was telling me. If you like Scrubs, the guy that wrote Scrubs, and he kind of writes the comedy, but then he puts like that, feel good spin on it. That's kind of how it. And I guess Scrubs. I never watched Scrubs regularly. I watched a couple episodes, but I wasn't like a devout Scrubs watcher. But people that are say that show's like that, and so Ted Lasso has very much that same kind of flow of the show, much like Scrubs did. But it's well done. It's well because to me Ted Lasso is more like more of a hokier version of Columbo, if that's even, because he's how the old and this is I'm talking to a whole group of audience, but older folks that know and are familiar with Columbo and how he always played that aloof type, and then at the end he's just actually very observant, very intuitive and very smart, and then but he comes off playing a little aloof and dumb. That's Columbo style. Well, Ted Lasso's kind of in that vein. Ted Lasso almost looks like the dad you make fun of, doing all the dad jokes and corniness and all of that stuff. But there's a method to everything he does, and it turns out, even though he's not an expert in the X's and O's of soccer, he knows how to lead teams and all that, and so he's able to find success that way through his Columbo-like distribution of wisdom and everything. So it's a really good show, and I really liked it. And in the 2 seasons for something on out, it's a great show. I would watch it if it was on network. I hope it, and it's gotten big. I'm going to guess it's Apple TV's most popular show is Ted Lasso. I may be wrong, but I'm willing to bet that's probably it. And so they did the finale of season 2, and I don't know if I agree with the direction they're taking this. And now, granted, it's more of a comedy and everything, and I don't want to spoil alert it for people that haven't watched that final episode yet. But I'm not going to lie. I'm not sure I agree with the direction they're going, where they're going to take season 3. They're setting it up for the next battle, right? The next turmoil for the team. And I don't know if I like the direction it's coming from. It just seems a little weird to me. And to be honest, I want to say something, but I'm afraid it's going to spoil something if I say it. So I better not. You know what? I will share my more in-depth Ted Lasso once people have more time to absorb the finale in there, because we'll have time to talk. Because I imagine it'll be another year before the 3rd season comes out, but I don't know if I like the direction they're going with season 3. The way they end the cliffhanger-y way they end that, I don't know if I agree. I don't know if I would agree to take the show, but what do I know? I'm a dumb DJ. All right, it is 14 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Get ready for some very gusty wind coming our way. We have a few cold fronts moving through the area. Not much rain, if any, with those systems, but it will be windy. Low 80s today and mostly sunny skies and a little bit breezy, partly cloudy overnight, and our low in the mid-50s. Then a very windy day coming up tomorrow. Some gusts up to 45 miles per hour, mid-80s, and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 44 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 76%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 3 miles per hour. Sunny today, a high of 83, but the winds will be with us. Breezy today. South winds 5 to 15 this morning, 15 to 25 for this afternoon. Brace yourselves, because that's just setting us up for some more winds tonight, tomorrow. Tonight we're looking at partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 55. South winds 15 to 20. They will drop, but gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. But after midnight, it will drop down 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunny and 84. That's the good news. The bad news, the winds will be up out of the south 10 to 20 miles per hour early. 25 to 35, gusting as high as 50 miles per hour tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 43. Windy, once again, southwest winds 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Then after midnight, we'll see those winds drop down out of the northwest 10 to 20 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny and 76. Northwest winds 5 to 10, so much cooler there. Thursday, sunny, back up in the 80s, 81 officially for a high there. And then Friday drops back down. And we're going to be back in the 70s for this weekend. Friday, sunny, high of 72. Saturday, sunny, high of 72. Sunday, sunny skies, a high of 75. So a fall, I think, is feeling officially here. It didn't feel like it Saturday, but I think we're going to be getting it now. So enjoy. All right, 8:16, before we take a quick break here, check out this smart home Wi-Fi with Plateau. If you're looking for great Wi-Fi and internet at your home, smart home Wi-Fi with Plateau is the answer. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience, fiber-to-home technology with 100 times faster than the average household internet speed right now. They've got different plans and levels for you to choose from. With fast internet, you get true 100 megs of uploaded download speed. With faster internet, you get true 500 megs of upload and download speed. And with fastest, you get 16 gigs of upload and download speed. And it's consistent on both sides. That's something that you don't realize with other ways of getting high-speed internet outside of fiber. You know, even on DSL or cable or those styles, which are high-speed as well. But the upload and download aren't necessarily like they'll give you a lot of download. And this is just me personally speaking, but your upload is now that's not really a problem unless you are a creator of things. Like if you're just watching movies off Netflix, download's the way to go. But if you like to make movies or make music or make things and upload it to the world, those upload speeds, if you're getting 100 down and only 2 up, it's going to be a while for you to get that stuff uploaded. But not with this Wi-Fi and this fiber internet through Plateau. It's upload, download, consistent across the board. Find the plan that fits your family and get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, and trusted. Visit their website and learn more today. All right, it is 8:18. We're going to take a 4-minute break, and then Lori Schatz will join us from the Kiwanis Club of Roswell. We'll talk about their big Simon and Garfunkel tribute concert coming up here November 6th, and update on Kiwanis as well. I know plans are moving forward for the all-inclusive park, all that good stuff. So we'll talk with Lori and Kiwanis on the other side. Don't go away.
As the school year comes to an end and COVID restrictions start to ease, don't lose sight of the lessons learned. Cover your cough, positive personal hygiene, respect one another, show and tell others you love them. Fiscal and social responsibility are great ways to show your love. This is Damon Graham, your local New York Life agent. I can help you show your love to others. Call me at 575-623-0803 so we can determine how you best can show your love. Expect to be blessed.
What a great time of year this is. Leaves are changing, pecans are falling, and that feeling of autumn is in the air. Along with the change of seasons, your friends at the Tailgate Nation Roswell Ford suggested it may be time for a change of vehicles. And at Roswell Ford, there's no shortage of good, clean, late model cars and trucks that will serve your family for many years. For instance, right now, Roswell Ford has a beautiful 2020 Ford F-150 Lariat Crew Cab 4x4 with only 26,000 miles, and it's only $54,980. Oh, and here's a great deal on an SUV, a 2018 Ford Explorer XLT with less than 42,000 miles for just $28,980. They'll go fast, so you better hurry. Remember, Roswell Ford backs up all their pre-owned vehicles with a 3-day money-back guarantee, so you don't have to worry about making a mistake. And if you have a lightly used car or truck, Roswell Ford wants to see it. You'll probably be surprised how much it's worth. Whether you're thinking of buying or thinking of selling, come see us at Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation.
We serve all New Mexico. If you think it's hard to take out a home loan, those rumors are wrong. It's not true. Contact Loan Officer Elliot Rodriguez, MLS number 41002 at CMG Financial, phone number 719-237-4680. At CMG Financial, we can help. Experience extraordinary with CMG Financial. Every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage Incorporated, MLS 1820. CMG Mortgage Incorporated is equal opportunity lender. To verify complete list of states licensed, visit www.mlsconsumersaccess.org.
Equal fair housing is the right for everyone to have access to all housing opportunities without discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, sex, color, familial status, or disability.
What does it feel like using a hot tub in your own backyard? Imagine sitting in your hot tub, looking at the stars as hot water melts away the stresses of the day. The powerful massage jets relax your sore muscles and help relieve any muscle pain. Can you imagine the serene relaxation, all from your own backyard? Choose a spa of your own at All About Spa's parking lot sale. You don't want to miss this event. The sale is this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 to 6 on North Main, right across from Discount Tire.
It's all right here at All About Spas.
Times are changing, and today's funerals aren't always the sad and solemn events you might expect. This is Gabriel Casaus from Lagrone Funeral Chapel. Along with hymns and scriptures, today's funeral services are often filled with fish stories, country songs, and a joke or two, golf clubs and hot rods, favorite recipes, and kitchen disasters. At Lagrone Funeral Chapel, we believe a funeral should reflect your loved one's personality, passion, and sense of humor. When you lose a loved one, we're here, because at Lagrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, we make it personal.
900 South Main, Roswell.
New Mexico Wool Growers, Inc. is the oldest trade organization in the state, promoting and cultivating the production of wool, mohair, sheep, and goats. New Mexico has a long history of sheep herding and wool production. New Mexico Wool Growers, Inc. encourages the future of the industry through sponsorship of the Shepherd and Sheep Wool Lead. Learn more about New Mexico Wool Growers at nmagriculture.org or call 505-247-0584.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Kiwanis Club here of Roswell, we have Lori Schatz back with us. Good morning, Lori.
Good morning.
How are you today? How's your Monday?
Going pretty well. I was telling you, I believe there was a fire on Rural 13
so you
on the west side of 285. So I had a little detour this morning.
Scenic route to get to Roswell today.
It's been adventurous to get to Roswell today.
Well, you're hoping to see the world a different way this morning. And
it's a Monday, right?
That's right.
Let's go with the week. It's all going to be different. I love it.
Good deal. But, well, first, before we talk about coming up, did you get a chance to do fair stuff? How'd you get?
I did not do fair stuff.
Okay, I know you're busy with a lot of stuff. I didn't know if you get a chance to pop in for a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of times I would do it after work and just go in. But there was a lot going on. I ran the farmers market, as you know, down in Artesia.
Saturday,
and we had the big wrap-up party this weekend.
Okay.
So
are they done for the season?
We are done for the season.
And, of course, Roswell just finished theirs this past week as well. So if you missed it, you're going to have to wait till next summer.
Right.
To get your,
you're going to have to sometimes some of those vendors at some of the holiday
just
things,
go to Gray's
but
Farm.
it won't be the same.
Go out to Gray's Farm.
Yeah,
you can get your fix there right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or if you're in Artesia, go to Brazano's.
Yeah, there you go.
They have their pumpkin patch.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going out there.
Hit them both. You can get that way. You come, depending where you're coming from. If you're Artesia, go there first and hit.
And that's what I used to do before I ran the market. I'd come here first thing in the morning, do shopping, and I'd go out to Belzano's and do shopping. And sometimes Fostering Lives Matter had one, so I would stop at all three.
Yeah.
Then go to the thrift store, and that was my big Saturday.
Yeah, well, that's the way to do it. That way, and you get the best of everything, and you get to support these great local
you get to support
stuff,
people.
and it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was I had a very good weekend. I was very excited we did a potluck for our people. So, and I've never heard of a farmer's market, like inviting the vendors. We also had a project at the community garden, so we invited all of those people to come too.
Yeah.
It was a really special day. Until the Browns lost, then it wasn't so special anymore. But I don't get it on my TV, so my brother's in San Diego.
Okay.
He doesn't want the Chargers because they moved to L.A. Right?
So
they're like, are you watching the game? And I'm like, no, I'm listening to the radio.
Yeah.
And I have it on my computer so I can see the little... like the computer was quicker. I knew when they were calling the play how it was going to end.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of interesting,
You're ahead
right?
of them, yeah.
Right? And my brother
Just start
goes,
making bets with him.
I'm going to FaceTime you. You have to watch the last 3 minutes. Well, they didn't put the phone in a sturdy place, pointing to the TV.
So you're seeing everything.
So it's like this. They're holding it, and I'm like, I'm getting motion sickness.
I'm about to throw up here.
Right. Well, I wanted to throw up at the end anyway, but that's okay. It was a close game. It was a good game. I'm from Cleveland, and my brother has lived in San Diego for about 40 years, and he's still cheering for the Browns. So they did a nice job. They beat themselves, as I think when they lose, they always do. But that's what football is.
At least you have a team worth cheering for. For many, many years, Cleveland's just you gotta love that team
because then we get first round choice in the draft,
which they screw up every year.
Exactly. So after the first 4 games, you kind of know which way you're cheering.
In theory, Cleveland should be the best team ever because they've had more first round picks than anybody out there.
I don't know. Detroit's getting kind of close. Detroit's getting close. So. But anyways, I had a lot of fun, and I got to spend time with my horse,
good.
and so I had a really great weekend, and happy to come back to work to be productive.
By the way, Cleveland's a great town. I've been there and got to tour and see it out. Great food. I mean, obviously you got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Football Hall of Fame's about 30 miles away. Blah 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 blah.
And Canton.
Yeah, Canton there, but yeah, it's a great town. It's a great little town. They got a beautiful downtown area.
And the flats are really popular.
They're right there on the lake there. It's really great to go down there and hang out. The stadium's nearby there too. I think it's all
the
a great area.
only big city that did a revival that actually worked.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's the only one. So I'm real proud of that fact. Of course, we are the mistake by the lake that burned.
It's a great town. I go check it out. It's and if you want to get obscure history and nostalgic. All the Christmas Story House and all that's there in Cleveland. You can go find that and go tour that.
Or go see the Guardians.
Yeah, the Guardian. There's all kinds of
because Chief Wahoo is no longer allowed.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but it's right downtown.
We're the Guardians.
Yeah. But we'll talk about Cleveland another day here. So.
And I lived in Chicago and was a Cubby fan. So to be a Cub fan and an Indians fan when they both went to the World Series, I didn't care who won. I was cheering on both sides.
You're just I'm just going to get a hot dog and I'm good to go.
Have a beer, have a hot dog, I'm good to go.
Well, you too, listening, equally have an awesome chance to see a great show here.
Yes.
November 6th, if you're a fan of Simon and Garfunkel, your Shangri-La is here. Swearingen and Kelly, they do a tribute. I say tribute because that's not really an act. I always feel a tribute of dead people, and
right. A lot of people think a salute to maybe.
Salute would be a better, better word.
It's called the music of Simon and Garfunkel, so it doesn't even say salute or tribute, but it is the music of Simon and Garfunkel. And no, Sean, it will not just be Paul Simon, because you can't do Simon and Garfunkel as you stated without the Garfunkel.
Exactly.
He's already mad at Simon. Let's not get him more mad, right?
What, you want him to fight on stage too while we're at it? We can make it a real show if you want. Get it real, but no.
But I think what everyone needs to know, this is kind of a cool dealio. So it is a fundraiser. All of the proceeds are going not to the person that put it together at all or the organization, but to the two that are spending the money to get them here, which is Kiwanis of Roswell, and also Roswell Community Little Theater.
Yep.
We're
Partnered
doing
up for this one.
Yeah, we're doing a silent auction. We're doing a wine pull. I don't know if you ever have seen one of those.
How's that versus like a tasting? A pull?
Okay, a pull is they're in bags. You can't see what kind of wine it is. You don't know if it's red or white, sweet or dry, or maybe even a sparkling white.
Okay, but it's all good wines.
There is one bottle that is worth $50.
Okay.
The rest could be anything from $2 Chuck, which is now $3 Chuck.
Okay. Inflation.
Right. Or just, any other kind of wine.
All good, tasty wines, but it's not necessarily the rarer wine that is the $50
unlike
bottle.
a silent auction where you can make a bid and you may not win.
Okay.
You pay $20 and you go pick any bottle of wine you want.
Okay.
Then what's kind of cool is, I like dry wine. You might like sweet wine.
Sure.
I pull the opposite of what I want. You do too. I don't know you, but I'm going to go ask you, do you want to switch?
Oh, do a little swapperooski. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's kind of, they can make, people get to meet each other.
Force you to talk to people and meet new people and get get some good wine.
No matter what, it's the fundraiser makes $20 a bottle of wine. So that's the point.
I think the fun part would be is that whoever wins the $50 bottle of wine, open it and let's compare it to the $3 Chuck and let's see if you can tell the difference here. I think that'd be very cool.
That's a whole nother fundraiser. So we have those things going on the night of the performance, but I've had several people come to me and say, I really would like to go to the show. I'm not going to be in town. So here's just money to buy a ticket. Okay, well, that means the seat's going to be empty.
Sure, we want butts and seats.
But Kiwanis has, if you are interested in donating to the all-inclusive park with a focus on autism, we are doing a golf ball drop.
Okay.
And on the same day.
So you can donate money there.
So give me your money and I'll get you some tickets. Okay. And then you at least have a chance to win something. Yeah. And the seat's still available at the theater for those that can come that night.
Yeah, if you really feel obligated buying a ticket, then put a butt in the ticket. And say, hey, I bought my friend a ticket so they can see the show.
So if that's not something that you can do that day, but you want to be supportive, give Eddie Kiwanian a call or give me a call at 513-8119. Right now, I have more money for tickets than I have tickets. So I have to go pick up more tickets. I have people's names who gave me money so I can go ahead.
So as a fundraising event's working great, but as a show, you're like, I'd love more people to come see the show.
Exactly. So, I was a little worried about doing it both on the same day, but I think it's working out.
Good.
That if you can't come see the show, but you believe in the project, and I'm sure if you would like to donate to Roswell Community Little Theater, they're raising money for a roof.
Yeah.
And that's super important in theater. Or in any building, right?
Well, and it just to peel back the curtain, pardon the pun here a little bit with the Community Little Theater, it's all their own thing. They have a great board and a great group, but that building is all on them. They have to pay they bought that building. They bought it because it used to be the old Park Twin Theater back in the day, movie theater back in the day. But they bought it before it got tore down or whatever was going to happen to it, and they've turned it into this great facility that it is here. But guess what? They've just coming out of 2 years of COVID here where they couldn't do shows. Donations are great, but they dry up in pandemics and things because people have to pay. They got to cut back on the charity because they got to pay for real expenses and things. So money hasn't been coming in as well. By the way, the roof continues to deteriorate and things. They've been doing.
It doesn't stop just because the pandemic is here.
They're doing everything they can to keep it going, but they got to bring some money in. They got to bring some money in to get this thing. That's why hopefully you got to enjoy the shows this weekend. If you didn't come out for the farce.
It's this weekend as well.
Unnecessary farce. I couldn't remember unnecessary.
I know it's Scottish. I'm going this weekend because I'm Scottish.
They got one more weekend of that.
Yes.
And then, of course, they had to preempt the second weekend of Bye Bye Birdie due to illness a couple months ago back over the summer. They're now going to have that second weekend. Not this weekend coming up, but the weekend after that. And then right after that is our Simon and Garfunkel show here. So these are the best way to support the
Simon and Garfunkel is not community theater folks. It is a professional group coming from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yes.
Going to be flying in.
They've dedicated their lives to study Simon and Garfunkel.
And last month they were in Albuquerque. Awesome. And I didn't know they were going to be there, but they were there, and they enjoyed their time there, and they're looking forward to come back to New Mexico. So they're all over the United States, a professional act. And tickets are $28 for general seating.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something new for Roswell Community Little Theater. The seating chart is online, so you can choose where you want to sit. Because we have a VIP section as well.
Absolutely.
And that section is $40.
And you get some extra perks with
that. Yep, you get a little food, you get some drinks, you get to meet them before the concert. A lot of times there's a meet and greet after, which they will do, but you're going to get to meet them before.
Sure.
First dibs on the wine pool, first dibs on the silent auction. And we have our Circle K kids, because college kid level.
Okay.
They're coming to run the silent auction.
Awesome.
So they'll be in the house. And then we have a young gal that we've been working with here. She's 14 years old. She's been at all the farmers markets. She came to our farmers markets, and she was the former our Diamond Miss. And she is just fantastic at volunteering. She's downtown all the time. Because I, unfortunately, will probably be on a walker at the time, I'm not going to be able to make it up the stairs to introduce the act. So she's going to be the one that brings them on stage. So we have all these facets. And
get you a scissor lift. You know how they have the hover round?
Yeah.
But add a scissor lift feature to your hover round. She's having a hip surgery. It's planned.
I might be able to come up the stairs. I'm not
but
sure
I'm
yet.
Thinking, how cool would that be?
Yeah, right.
And all of a sudden that thing goes up about 10 feet in the air.
There I am. Hey.
I want to break a hip just to do that.
No, you don't.
Probably not, but in theory I do.
So, and then I also would like people to know, because of the all Kiwanian Day last week, we got 2 phone calls of people that were interested in coming to the Kiwanis Club. They were interested in our project, wanted to help.
Good.
So if you are interested in being a Kiwanian and helping us raise money for the all-inclusive park and other projects that we do around town, we meet on Tuesdays at Cerritos. And your first time that you come, I think it's your first 2 times while you're trying to check us out, we actually pay for your lunch.
Yes, you get free lunch. And then
Tuesdays, and it's the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of the month that we meet. So it will be tomorrow, if you're listening. Come on out to Cerritos Tuesday at noon and see what we're all about. We'd love to have you.
And they got great food too. So
yeah.
Even if it's not your thing, worst comes to worst, you just got a free good lunch.
Right. You go, I'm not about this.
I do want to ask, with the Swearingen and Kelly concert, the money that you got now, is all of that going directly to the inclusive park, or just all of the other stuff that you do? Just everything that Kiwanis does? The
fundraiser, the concert, it is for exclusively the all-inclusive park.
Gotcha.
We'll split the proceeds with the Roswell Community Theater.
Theirs will go to their programs.
All auction, all stuff. We think we're keeping it easy by doing that.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, all the money that we raise on that day will be for both of those organizations.
But
it'll go for the all-inclusive park.
For folks that don't know,
the golf ball drop is going to be a little for the park and a little for our general fund.
Excellent. And for folks that aren't familiar, outside of this, the Kiwanians do a lot with, particularly our youth. Getting resources, dictionaries, things like that for our youth. I think, is it 3rd graders?
Yes, it was 4th graders. I believe now it's 3rd.
They all get dictionaries and things in school. Their first ones from and it's Kiwanis that do all of this, and they help a lot with that. So rest assured,
we have a lot of we have 2 key club. And those are high schoolers. So we send them to conferences and leadership programs.
Scholarships and things like that. Yeah, absolutely.
So
that's part of it,
that's a big
too.
focus for us as well. We're like the mothership of them.
Yeah.
We're like the parents. So it's nice to see these up-and-coming leaders, just like Leadership Roswell. It's the same type of thing that we're trying to develop them into good leaders for the communities that they end up in.
Sure. And in case you haven't noticed, one of the staples that's always been something is Kiwanis pancakes, and COVID's hurt that the last 2 years. So Swearingen and Kelly concerts, things like that, are more important because we can't do the pancake breakfast and things that traditionally are staples for Kiwanis and the public. Support this. Come out and participate. Get you the VIP passes. Let them wine and dine you. Come and have an awesome show, but please come and donate that money and come out to the show, have a great time, and at the same time know that while you're enjoying your wine and having fun, you're really
helping a great cause.
Helping kids in our community have access.
And again, if it's not your type of music, or if you just aren't going to be in town that day, the tickets for the golf ball drop are $10.
Yes.
That will happen in the morning. So we will know the winners. So it'd be great if you did both, right? And you might be a winner because we can announce some of the winners at the show.
Okay.
But it's $10. People do it a little differently. What we're doing at Kiwanis is the closest ball to the target wins. If no one has purchased that number, we will go to the next ball.
Next closest.
So there will be 6 winners.
Someone's getting money.
Right. The club is not going to keep if we don't, oh, well, no one bought that ball. We're going to keep that. No. We want to be real clear about that. Either way is great, the way you run it, but this is the way we've chosen to do it.
Sure.
And we had donations were given to us for the prizes. So it's a $600 cash prize for number 1, a $400 cash prize for number 2.
Nice.
Roswell tire gift card for $250.
Nice.
There is LGS Guns and Ammo, which is a $250 for 4th.
Sweet.
$100 at Target and $50 at Cattle Baron. All donated to us.
I can do some van damage with all those.
Kremlin Auto Group was one of our biggest sponsors. So thank you to Kremlin for all that they do for the community and for the golf ball drop.
Absolutely. They're very much involved in many things.
So $10 to get one. Most of my people are getting 2, 3. And I had one gentleman. I went to Indiana. So see, you can sell out of state, right? Because it's just a cash price.
Sure.
And I had met him one time. I was a Kiwanian there. And I went to that club's meeting. And he's like, well, Lori, do you have 10 tickets? And I said, yeah, but they're only $10, so you want one? And he's like, no, I want to get all 10. And I was like, what? So that's what kind of started me down the road of, hey, I can hit all my friends up all over the United States.
Sure. Absolutely.
To help us out. So you don't have to just be from Roswell or Artesia or New Mexico.
So if you got friends and stuff like, or family. Out in Pittsburgh or whatever, and you're like, hey, you want to get in on this tour?
I had a girlfriend that got married in Indiana, and I bought her 3 of them and said, put it in her card and said, you might win.
Give me $10, you might win 600. You never know.
Right.
Either way, you're helping out a great cause here.
Yes, and you can buy those from any Kiwanian, or at least ask for them, and they can get you a ticket if they've sold out of the 10 that they were given to sell. But, of course, we would love you to come out for a great night at the Roswell Community Little Theater on November 6th. There is a 2 o'clock and a 7:30.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a matinee and an evening performance. So if you're like, I don't want to be out 7:30. I want to be at home, watching TV. Awesome. Then come out at 2:30. And then maybe have dinner afterwards or go to lunch and then go to the show
afterwards.
And
that's what's happening. I sold 7 tickets this weekend in Artesia, and that's what all of them are doing. They're coming to the 2 o'clock. Having a little bit to eat and seeing the show, and then going out to eat in Roswell, and then they'll go back to Artesia. So
brilliant! Do lunch and dinner. Go have lunch, go to the show, and then about dinner time after that, go get dinner. I like the way they're thinking.
If you can go online to roswelltheater.com for your tickets. It is very easy to use the website.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any problems, please call that number 575-513-8119. I can either walk you through their website, or what I have been doing is purchasing your tickets for you.
Gotcha.
And telling you, what seats are available. And they give me my credit card, and I just go right on the computer and do it for. So if you need a little extra help, consider me the box office, the live box office. They have a box office that will take your message, and I'll get you those tickets. So we don't want to lose any ticket sales. So please, if you're having trouble, please give me a call or go online. It is very easy to do to get your tickets for that event.
Absolutely. And I will also tell you this, if you've never been to see a performance at the Community Little Theater, there is not a bad seat in the building.
No.
It's much like the Ocotillo. Seats about 200, kind of an intimate setting, but every seat's great. A great view of the stage, great access to the sound and everything else. So you don't have to worry about getting a bad seat there.
Right.
So.
And we have saved, like I said, what we consider the best seats for VIP. And you can't purchase them, and if you hit them, it's going to say $40.
Gotcha.
And that's fine. If you want to pay $40 and not come to all the extras, we're good with that too.
Sure. But you're shortchanging yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just trying to save those seats for those people that want to step it up a little bit in their donation. It is not the first 2 rows. Might not even be the first 3 rows. A lot of people think that is the best.
Yeah.
But when the seats are dug in, like at the Ocotillo and here, you're going to be looking up.
Yeah, you get a little crane into the neck there.
Right. So we've tried to do it so that we pick those best seats. There are several aisle seats still available. So if you're big, I need an aisle or space next to me. We have wheelchair capacity.
Yeah,
so all of that can be taken
easily
care of.
accessible through there. It's they got a great facility there.
So please give us a call, like I said, at 513-8119 or go to theroswelltheater.com to get your tickets.
Can they call that number too if they can't track down a Kiwanian to get tickets for the golf ball drop? Okay.
Yep, that number is universal.
Or if you were a Facebook user, there Kiwanis of Roswell has a Facebook page. Shoot a message there. Say, hey, I heard you guys have tickets for the golf ball drop. Who can sell me some? And you'll probably get plenty of responses.
Right. Yes. Yes. Stacy and I are in charge of the page. She'll be like,
but
how many can I get you?
But again, get your tickets for that. That'll happen the morning of November 6th.
Yes.
For the golf ball drop, and somebody's going to win $600. Somebody's going to win $400. Somebody's going to win $250 in tire rewards.
Yes.
And what was the other? Target $100, LGS $100, and $50 from
Cattle
Baron. So,
and the drop will be at noon at New Mexico Military Institute. Okay. I have a friend that graduated from there, and he says, do not call it NIMI.
No, I tell people if you got to say it, say NMMI. Do not call it NIMI.
So that's why it took me a second. Remember, I had a hard time with Roswell Community Little Theater last week. I got that down there. So now I'm working at New Mexico Military Institute.
And it's sometimes RCLT doesn't flow out when you say it. Like if you try to do the shortcut there. So.
Yeah, so they're going to be at the golf course at noon. You can go and watch if you want, but you do not need to be present at all to win.
Sure.
We will contact everyone.
Wear a helmet if you want to be present, in case of an errant golf ball.
It is our first.
Maybe there's a smile in the ball, sends a little errand, who knows?
But, yeah, so just to let you know, that's at noon, and then at 2 o'clock, we will have our first concert start, and at 7:30 will be the second concert. So that's going to be a really busy day for Kiwanis.
Yeah.
But we're hoping that we've hit everybody in a way. You know, maybe you can't afford $28 or $40, but you can get one ticket for $10.
Sure.
So we just hope that everyone comes out.
Everybody, and then who knows? Maybe you win the 600, and then you can buy a ticket.
Yeah, that's right.
I would be the day of the show, but
that's okay.
We'll figure it out.
We'll get you in. We'll figure that out for sure. You can still come to 2 o'clock, and I'm sure it's 7:30.
Yeah, it'll be. And trust me. And here's the thing too: if you're younger and you're like Simon and Garfunkel, I don't know, but odds are pretty good.
You know their music.
They've influenced, and just their influence. I mean, even if you don't like their brand of music, the music they've made has probably influenced your brand of music, if that makes sense.
Have you ever heard Disturbed?
Yeah.
Do the Sound of Silence?
Exactly.
So cool.
They've got rock influences. They've got, even R&B and country and hip hop. You hear their influences in there. I mean, I don't know. Folk music isn't quite descriptor of Simon and Garfunkel, but that's the closest I can think in my head.
It's like a cross between folk and pop of their day, of the era that they were in.
Yeah, exactly. It's
because they're like Dylan, even though Dylan can't. I don't think Dylan can really sing, but they're the same kind of thing.
It evokes the same type of feelings in the music.
And I don't want to say they were protest songs. They were songs that meant a lot to the younger population in the day that are still transferable to what we're going through presently.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a full circle moment.
Yeah,
some of this
exactly.
Stuff. Absolutely.
Everything old is new again.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, I get the old is new, but when I was at the fair this weekend, I got a lot of people watching in, and some of the 80s fashions are starting to come back. Please don't make that happen. They were bad then. And,
I like big hair, though. I would like to go back to big hair.
I'm good with. But some of the shirts and the colors and the way
I heard that like elephant bells are coming back,
and I'm like, they were ugly back then.
I don't know what is the straight. They weren't called straight leg jeans. That were recently
the skinny jeans or whatever.
Skinny jeans, and I went to Ireland, and every guy had them on, and I'm here to tell you, gentlemen, they do not look good on anyone.
You look bad.
It looks awful. Those straight, no.
Yeah. Well, you got to find a medium because those look bad, but the uber baggy 90s are all equally bad. Yeah, just get
We
some
wore
fit-
pajama bottoms
Yeah.
as pants.
Yeah, the skids and all
yeah,
those.
and
back-
we
Yeah.
ripped our sweatshirts and hair was big. That's the 80s I remember.
I remember, I remember younger 80s people were into like more leathery parachute pants at the beginning.
Oh, parachute pants
Like
were
with
big.
The leather with all the zippers and all that.
Mhm.
That was kind of the early part
Michael
of the
Jackson
80s.
with the leather jacket.
Till about 86, 87, and that started fading away into more of the culottes and
and that's I'll date myself. That's my college years, and I went thrift shopping, so I could fit into my mother's 1940, 1950s like dresses.
I think mid 80s was when all like the neon colors and all that started.
Shoulder
popping in.
pads.
Yeah.
Like I need shoulder pads and be any taller than I am.
Yeah.
But
well, the one that got me was, that for a minute there in the 80s where everyone was doing the cool fold of their pant cuffs.
Yeah.
People are doing that now. That's coming back.
I remember slouch socks.
Yeah.
So I had slouch socks on in Tucson, Arizona, and the person I was dating, who was a little bit older than me, said, "Oh, do you need me to buy you some socks? The elastic is out." And I was like, "This is the style."
Right? I'm in fashion.
I'll never forget that because I was like, "Do you think I just walk around with like socks that don't?" Anyway,
you get your socks
unfortunately,
in that
I
big-
married him. That was the problem.
I don't know. I'm just saying, be careful with some of these 80s fashions. We don't need to bring them all back. But again, if anybody wants to learn more, get your tickets. Again, go to RoswellTheater.com. Again, that's spelled theater with the
R-E.
With the live theater, not the movie theater
Old
spelling.
English. Mhm.
Yeah. Or you can call Lori here direct at 575-513-8119. And then look for the Kiwanis of Roswell Facebook page if you have any questions there. Say, hey, I want to get tickets to the Swearingen and Kelly show, or I want to get tickets for the golf ball drop, or when do you guys meet again? I want to go. All that can be answered through there.
Yep.
So, good deal. Did we get it? Did we get everything?
We got everything in, but one thing that has nothing to do with Kiwanis.
Okay.
Ha! Just so that I don't know if anyone would like to drive from Roswell to Artesia on a Sunday morning, but if you're interested in yoga and you've never tried it, Susie Grossman is coming to town. And so she'll be doing a yoga class at First Christian Church on the 24th of October. That is a Sunday at 8:30.
Okay.
And it is a suggested donation of $8. Again, if you want more information on that, you call the 575-513-8. Oh, and look at this number is wrong. 8119. Well, we're going to fix that on the flyer. We do provide the mats and the props. So if you've never tried it, this is a perfect time to come out.
Absolutely.
And
You know
just
what?
see what it's like.
If you're finding yourself getting mad at everything, like you to go get on and you get mad, maybe take some yoga. That might help.
That's what I should have done yesterday. I should have stood in tree pose when the Browns were playing. I would have been a lot
center
better
out
off.
a little bit.
Woo!
By the way, I got to ask, do you? Because you're friends with the yoga lady right
Yes.
here.
Mhm.
She a fan of the show Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
She is. Okay. Wallowitz.
Yes.
Are you a fan of the show?
Yes.
Okay. Wallowitz in school had a girlfriend named Marcy Grossman, and he said he wrote a song about her, and it was talking about my girl, and he's like, my girl, Marcy Grossman.
Yeah.
So when you keep saying her name, all I keep going back to is his song about Marcy Grossman.
I believe her cousin's name is that.
So
my friend.
You got to share her with her. It's like,
Yes.
hey, you're a big fan. But she probably knows if she's a fan of the show. So I just, every time you say her name, I think of that Marcy Grossman Wallowitz thing. So that's just my
Yep.
thing.
I will definitely share that with her. Her husband will love it.
Well, thank you very much. I'm sure you got to get to work now and do your day job stuff.
I do.
So they actually want to pay you to do those things. So that'd be good. But thank you very much. We'll see you next week here. And folks, again, get your tickets, RoswellTheater.com. Even if you're kind of on the fence, you're like, I don't know about, Simon and Garfunkel. Trust me, it's going to be a great show. You're going to probably go and then hear songs like, I didn't even realize that was Simon and Garfunkel. Or because you can't throw a wall without hitting one of their hits. It's just
They
so
do
many
have
of
a clip online. So if you want to look up swearing, you can say it better than me. Swearingen and Kelly.
Yeah.
You can listen to them. They have a small clip of them singing Simon and Garfunkel. So if you want a little taste of it, go online and hear them and then buy your ticket.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll see you here next time, okay?
All right. Thanks, Mike.
All right. It is 8:53. We're going to pause for news of the local variety, along with your town hall business update. Quick break as well. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley News update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Chavez County deputies, along with Roswell police, got an amazing sight over the weekend after a citizen reported a wrong-way driver on US 285. Deputies pulled up behind the pickup truck and immediately noticed it had been seriously damaged, but was still limping down the road going the wrong way. The driver finally pulled over. It was determined the truck had been involved in a crash where it rolled over several times. Deputies reported a strong odor of alcohol, so the driver was arrested for drunk driving. The city of Carlsbad pondering the idea of switching to a radio signal to read water meters. The city is applying for a grant to the tune of $500,000 that would pay for overhauling the current system that is requiring a human to personally visit every meter to read it. The Carlsbad City Council already approved the request to pursue the grant from the Board of Reclamation's Water Smart program. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Get ready for some very gusty wind coming our way. We have a few cold fronts moving through the area. Not much rain, if any, with those systems, but it will be windy. Low 80s today and mostly sunny skies and a little bit breezy, partly cloudy overnight, and our low in the mid-50s. Then a very windy day coming up tomorrow. Some gusts up to 45 miles per hour, mid-80s, and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
For the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. U.S. employers added 194,000 jobs in September, a second straight gain. Still, many companies are struggling to fill millions of open jobs. Friday's report from the Labor Department also showed that the unemployment rate sank last month from 5.2% to 4.8%. The rate fell in part because more people found jobs, but also because about 180,000 fewer people looked for work in September. It's called Nissan's Intelligent Factory, with hardly any human workers. The robots do the work, including welding and mounting. The factory on the outskirts of Tokyo is set to be up and running sometime before April. On Wall Street, the Dow down 8 points to 34,764. The Nasdaq lost 74 to 14,579. And the S&P 500 down 8 to 4,391. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
We serve all New Mexico. If you think it's hard to take out a home loan, those rumors are wrong. It's not true. Contact Loan Officer Elliot Rodriguez, MLS number 41002 at CMG Financial, phone number 719-237-4680. At CMG Financial, we can help. Experience extraordinary with CMG Financial, every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage Incorporated, MLS 1820. CMG Mortgage Incorporated is equal opportunity lender. To verify complete list of states licensed, visit www.mlsconsumersaccess.org.
Equal fair housing is the right for everyone to have access to all housing opportunities without discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, sex, color, familial status, or disability.
Move on over to the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop in downtown Roswell. The Cow is stocked with fabrics and everything you need, and the Calico Cow is your destination for brand new Brothers sewing machines. Find out more and shop online at roswellquilting.com or move on over to the Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop in downtown Roswell. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
Hey, this is Dr. Keon Agger at Carabelli Dental in Roswell. Our office is passionate about creating beautiful, long-lasting smiles. But here's the thing. Sometimes that means dentures, and that's not a bad thing. These aren't your grandma's dentures. We combine artistry and the latest technology to create beautiful, natural-looking teeth. If you are in southeastern New Mexico and you have dentures or are considering dentures, you need to come visit us at Carabelli Dental.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 622-4455.
Like most people, you're busy enjoying your life and taking care of today's priorities. But it's a good idea to think about your future. Will you have enough income to enjoy a comfortable lifestyle down the road? Time flies, so it's never too soon to create a financial strategy for your future. A super check from your local Farm Bureau agents can help make sure you're on track. Take control of your future and call Farm Bureau agents Caleb Grant, Jeff Weathers, and Chad Holloway in Roswell at 575-755-FBFS.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:58. Stay tuned next hour. Here about 9:15 or so. We're going to play our interview we had Friday. Jay Block, candidate for governor. He was in town. He was actually going out to the fair later that evening and hang out there. So hopefully some folks got a chance to speak with him out at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair on Friday. But he stopped by here, and we got a chance to talk with him for a few minutes. So we're going to play that conversation with Jay Block next hour, about 9:15 or so. He is a candidate for governor, hoping to get the Republican nod here in the upcoming primary. So we're going to – actually, we got quite a few. We're going to play Jay Block here today. We're going to have Rebecca Dow, gubernatorial candidate, join us tomorrow on the show. So we're getting those, and we talked to Zanetti earlier, but I imagine we'll probably chat with him here down the road as well too. So we'll keep you up to date on those. But we'll play our conversation with Jay Block tomorrow here. Of course, we were just talking about the Swearingen and Kelly Music of Garfunkel happening November 6th. Get your tickets at RoswellTheater.com. While you're there, you can still get tickets for Unnecessary Farce. Weekend number 2 is happening this Friday and Saturday night, 7:30 p.m., and then the matinee on Sunday. Again, RoswellTheater.com. Don't forget also the second week of Bye Bye Birdie. Tickets available right now at the website, RoswellTheater.com. That's happening not this weekend, next weekend. All right, it's 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The central U.S. recovering from powerful storms that hit late last night and early this morning. Parts of Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, and Texas experiencing torrential rains, lightning, and high winds. Several suspected tornadoes touched down in Oklahoma. Chuck Hodges at the National Weather Service says that while things have settled down now, the calm may not last for long.
Should be quiet for the rest of the day. We are watching another system that's going to be moving into the plains for Tuesday and the Tuesday night, which could bring a little bit more active weather, and should be settling down toward the end of the week.
And winter-like weather is in the forecast this week for parts of Colorado and Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana. Heavy snow, gusty winds, and cold in the higher elevations. Snow already causing some problems in parts of the west. Drug maker Merck asking federal regulators to greenlight an antiviral pill designed to fight the coronavirus.
The request sets the stage for a decision within weeks. If cleared by the Food and Drug Administration, it would be the first pill shown to treat COVID-19. It would add a new, easy-to-use weapon to the world's arsenal against the pandemic.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. A lot of frustrated travelers this morning. Southwest Airlines has canceled more than 1,000 domestic flights in recent days. The chaos reportedly stemming, at least in part, from airline workers protesting the COVID vaccine mandates. 3 U.S.-based economists have won the 2021 Nobel Prize for Economics for work on drawing conclusions from unintended experiments, or so-called natural experiments. Stocks are higher on Wall Street right now. The Dow up 133 points. The NASDAQ Composite Index ahead 66, and the S&P trading 19 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
You spend a third of your life in bed. That's why we make the most comfortable sheets in the very best way. I'm Scott Tannen. 8 years ago, my wife Missy and I founded Boll & Branch to create the new standard in bedding. We source pure organic cotton and put workers' rights first. Today, Boll & Branch makes the highest quality sheets in the entire industry. You'll feel the difference of our famous signature sheets. They're made from pure organic cotton and get softer with every single wash. Now's the perfect time to try Boll & Branch sheets, pillows, bath towels, and so much more. Each is made with super soft organic cotton by workers who are paid fairly and have come to feel like family. It's time to make the better choice and get the new standard in bedding. Visit bollandbranch.com today for free shipping and returns.
Experience a new standard of comfort at bollandbranch.com and take 15% off your first set of sheets with promo code GOLD. That's BOLL and branch.com. Promo code GOLD.
The Indian Army says 5 of its personnel have been shot dead by suspected terrorists in Indian-administered Kashmir.
It's the deadliest attack on the Indian security forces in the Kashmir region since February. The rebels have been fighting against Indian rule in Kashmir for more than 3 decades. India accuses Pakistan of supporting the insurgents, but Islamabad denies the charges. Tensions have flared up again in Indian Kashmir after 7 civilians were shot dead by gunmen in the past week. Hundreds of residents suspected of having links with banned insurgent groups have been detained following the attacks.
That's a BBC's Barasaneta Rajan. Firefighters have extinguished a massive blaze that broke out in a storage tank at one of Lebanon's main oil facilities in the country's south. The fire broke out when workers were transferring gasoline from one storage tank to another in the coastal town of Sorani. News and analysis, townhall.com. North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un urging his minions to overcome what he describes as a grim situation in the reclusive communist enclave.
Kim wants officials to do better in improving the food and living conditions of his people. But state media didn't mention any specific comments toward Washington and Seoul during Kim's speech. Meanwhile, nuclear talks between Washington and Pyongyang have stalled for more than 2 years. Both sides disagree over exchanging the release of crippling U.S.-led sanctions against North Korea's denuclearization steps.
That's correspondent Andrew Stewart. The vast majority of UAW members, 90%, have rejected a contract offer from John Deere that would have delivered a 5% raise to the workers who make Deere tractors and other equipment. Negotiators now back at the bargaining table for more contract talks. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder. And the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. And then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters. Thank you, Tanner, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Mr. Smalls will be back in the chair with us, I believe, on Wednesday. He's out of town for a couple days. He'll be back with us, visiting some family, and fortunately they had a passing in their family there, so he's taking time out to take care of that. So he'll be back with us later on this week. So Tanner will be happily filling in for the Deuces and the Tres Inviernos for the next couple days. But hopefully you all are having an open and having a happy Monday so far. I know it's Monday. I know it's not hard to say that, but hopefully you are. Weather is a little cooler. Gonna get a little breezy too. We're finally in fall. I feel like we're finally, I know Saturday certainly didn't feel like it. We were out at the fair on Saturday, and I was like, this is October, right? It's like 96 degrees out here. It's like October. But thank goodness there's lots of good, cool, refreshing things to have and enjoy to cool off out at the fair. And I got to partake. I did not do Andrea's professional move, which I should have. I just ran out of time, and but I will do it the next time. And the professional move, the pro move, is you get yourself over to the Wild West wagon and get you one of their collector's tin big cups Don't fill it yet, though. Just get the cup. And she had this idea, and it's brilliant. And she takes full credit. Andrea Moore's, this is her idea, and this is a 10. You go, and I know it's late now, but next time the fairs and everything, fortunately, we see the Wild West folks at just about every gathering to get that delicious root beer and sarsaparilla and all the stuff they have. So what you do is they got their big tin metal collector's cup. You get that sucker. And you're like, why didn't you tell me this? She said it last week, in case you missed it. You can take that thing. You can just buy the collector's cup. Don't fill it yet. Say, hey, I just want the cup. I'll be right back. Buy the cup. And then get on down to the ice cream stand where the dairy guys are. And they got the ice cream. Get over there and have them purchase a bowl of ice cream, vanilla, or, you do you. But for this purpose, I recommend vanilla. Chocolate does not work for root beer floats. It just doesn't. And I'm a chocolate guy, and it just doesn't. Chocolate ice cream is not good for Coke floats or root beer floats. It just does not work. Vanilla is the way to go. And this is a chocoholic saying it, so it's true. But get you vanilla ice cream, fill up that cup, and then go back over to the Wild West booth and now fill that bad boy up with sarsaparilla or root beer or your proclivity. And you are living like a king or a queen. You're living large. And there is no happier feeling than that. So recommend it. Of course, I went and you know what? I went and walked around and stuff, but ultimately I had to do the backdraft and I did the nachos. I can't help it. Those things call me like a child, reaching out for his toy. And I have to go there and eat them. I got to have my traditionals. I always eat chicken on a stick at the fair. I don't know why. I eat it no other place. But you put a chicken strip on a stick, and I'm a happy camper. I don't know why. But two things I want to do, but I never do, but I always want to do. One is get the big corn. I saw a bunch of people doing that. I'm like, man, I want the corn. I never end up doing it. I don't know why. I think it's because it's sensory overload. That's the problem at the fair. It's sensory overload. There's so many good foods around you. You're just like, I don't know which one to get. I'm going to try them all. And then you hit, and then you get about 2-3 booths in, and you just keel over because there's so much food. Most of you are like, you do this? I have a problem. But this is that's the fair. It's sensory over. And then just when you're stuffed, somebody walks over and says, look at this funnel cake I got over here. And you see this just big cake of beauty there. And you're like, I didn't even want that till I saw it. Now I got to go get that now, And I love that part of the fair. And I got to experience some of that. As I get older, I got to do it less. But man, when I was like 20s and teenagers and going and hit fairs and stuff, I'd put some hurting on those places. Now I gotta be a little more adult about it. It stinks, but in spirit, I'm there with you. In spirit, I'm like, you go. Yeah, you got free finger. You could put something on that. There's something you can hold food with there. But hopefully some of you got a chance to do that. But definitely that move that Andrew recommended with the ice cream and the cup and get you root beer float, that's a 10. That's a 10 right there. So hopefully everybody had a big thank you to everyone that supported that. And thanks to the fair people, the Eastern New Mexico State Fair Board, and everybody involved with that. They put on a great fair this year. Big thank you to them. So had an awesome time. Hope all y'all did too. And if you didn't get a chance to get out there, well, you missed out. But good news is they do it every year, so you can come out next year. Here's what's on tap for this hour of the show. Here in just a few minutes, we'll get you up to date with that weather. Then here in just a few, we're going to play our interview we had Friday. Candidate for governor, hoping to get the bid from the Republican Party. Jay Block joined us. And we had about a 20-25-minute conversation with Jay and on Friday. And he was actually out at the fair Friday night, so he was in town, so we got a chance to chit-chat here. So we're going to play that interview for you here in just a few minutes. Later on this hour, we'll get you up to date with local news, along with your Sean Hannity update, your town hall business update as well, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather. A little bit different. First, the winds are kind of throwing a damper in our weather here. But if you love fall, we're starting to feel fall-like. So there's that.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Get ready for some very gusty wind coming our way. We have a few cold fronts moving through the area. Not much rain, if any, with those systems, but it will be windy. Low 80s today and mostly sunny skies and a little bit breezy, partly cloudy overnight, and our low in the mid-50s. Then a very windy day coming up tomorrow. Some gusts up to 45 miles per hour, mid-80s, and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 50 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 68% winds. In fact, or calm at the moment. That will change, but enjoy it while we got it, because that will change. For today, sunny, 83. Good news there. Nice. Low 80s. Take that. But going to be breezy today. South winds 10 to 15 this morning. Then later this afternoon, picking up 20 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, winds continue. Partly cloudy with an overnight low of 55, so even a little warmer overnight. South winds 15 to 20. They will drop down 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. For you Tuesday, once again, temps sunny, highs right around low 80s there, 84 officially. Winds will be windier tomorrow. South winds 10 to 20 early. Later in the day, increasing out of the southwest, 25 to 30. Could see wind gusts as high as 50 miles per hour tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, we're looking at clear skies, overnight low of 43. The winds continue out of the southwest, 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. We will see those winds drop down 10 to 20 after midnight tomorrow night. Then for Wednesday, winds are calmer, but the temps are cooler. Sunny skies, highs near 76, so mid-70s for Wednesday. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Thursday, sunny skies, a little bit warmer. Highs back in the 80s, 81 officially. And then Friday, it drops again. Will be sunny, 72 on Friday, sunny, 72 on Saturday, and sunny, 75 on Sunday. So a little bit of a roller coaster there with these winds, but definitely the trending temperatures are going to cooler fall-like temps. All right, it is 9:15. Before we take our break here and play our interview with gubernatorial candidate Jay Block, I do want to tell you about the big event happening later on this week at All About Spas. That's right. Attention, all the folks here in Roswell, even all you folks there in Artesia, Carlsbad, and points in between, don't miss the big event happening at All About Spas in Roswell this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They're having a huge parking lot sale. There you can find your perfect spa, and for a limited time at a deeply discounted price. And all their stuff, you know, if you're looking for backyard barbecue stuff, accessories, all that stuff, even bedding, things like that, they got you covered at All About Spas there. Stop on by this Thursday, Friday, and or Saturday for their big parking lot sale happening at All About Spas, located on North Main, right across from Discount Tire, right here in Roswell. Again, the time to save this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All About Spas, North Main, right across from Discount Tire, right here in Roswell. All right, it is 17 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then our interview with Jay Block, candidate for governor, on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
It's October, and that means it's time to paint Roswell Honda pink. We've partnered up with the Chaves County Cancer Fund to help raise much-needed money, and we're gearing up for another amazing year. Roswell Honda is giving away some great prizes, including 2 Michael Kors designer purses, pretty in pink, of course. Stop by for your free entry or 3 with any qualified test drive. And that's not all. With rebates, incentives, and discounts, and with rates never being this low, there's never been a better time to get behind the wheel. Roswell Honda knows that times are tough, and we're here to help and take some of the stress out of your life. It's just a part of what makes this hometown proud. Help us make it happen for the Chaves County Cancer Fund and paint it pink this month at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
What does it feel like using a hot tub in your own backyard? Imagine sitting in your hot tub, looking at the stars as hot water melts away the stresses of the day. The powerful massage jets relax your sore muscles and help relieve any muscle pain. Can you imagine the serene relaxation, all from your own backyard? Choose a spa of your own at All About Spa's parking lot sale. You don't want to miss this event. The sale is this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 to 6 on North Main, right across from Discount Tire.
It's all right here at All About Spas.
As the school year comes to an end and COVID restrictions start to ease, don't lose sight of the lessons learned. Cover your cough, positive personal hygiene, respect one another, show and tell others you love them. Fiscal and social responsibility are great ways to show your love. This is Damon Graham, your local New York Life agent. I can help you show your love to others. Call me at 575-623-0803 so we can determine how you best can show your love. Expect to be blessed.
You don't want to bring your car to just anyone. You want to bring it to someone you know. Someone who will tell it to you straight. And someone you trust to do a quality job because they care about you. You want to bring it to Big O Tires. We're locally owned, which means we're your neighbors. And neighbors help neighbors whenever they can. Right now, save $100 instantly on select sets of 4 Big O brand tires. When you need to bring your car to someone, bring it to your neighbors at Big O Tires. Because we love giving our neighbors a great deal. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. See store for details.
This is Renee.
Happy to be here.
She's not some influencer. She's more of a groundbreaker, turning her 4-acre lot into a little slice of heaven behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. Renee runs with us because the most important job is the next one.
That's all I got.
Nothing runs like a Deere. Hear Renee's story at Deere.com.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Join Hot New Country 92.9 The Brand for a live broadcast on Friday, October 15th from 4 to 7 and Saturday, October 16th from 9 to noon at JC Park for the annual Art in the Park. We'll be on hand telling you all about the amazing arts and crafts, the fantastic food, the live music, and all the fun waiting for you at this year's 2-day Art in the Park celebration. We'll be there Friday from 4 to 7 and Saturday from 9 to noon. So grab the kids and join us for Art in the Park Friday and Saturday, October 15th and 16th at JC Park with The Brand.
New Mexico families are modern. New Mexico's child support program is modern too. Recent changes mean the modern child support family will benefit with job development and job opportunities, right-sized court orders, resulting in more child support payments and less debt. The Modern Child Support Family Program. Find out how it can benefit your modern family. Call 1-800-283-4465. Paid for by the Human Services Department and aired in cooperation with the NMBA and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
And welcome back to the morning show. And joining us in studio this morning, gubernatorial candidate for the state of New Mexico, Republican representing, or hoping to represent the Republican Party here, Jay Block with us this morning. Morning, sir. How you doing today?
Good morning, sir. Thank you for having me here in beautiful Roswell.
Well, thanks for spending some time with us. I know.
Well, I get down here a lot, trust me.
Well, I know life as a candidate, you spend a lot of time getting frequent flyer or frequent driving miles.
Yeah.
Probably some hotel points and everything else.
A lot of gas station sandwiches, which my campaign staff makes fun of me for eating. So, yeah.
Hey, egg salad's good as long as the date's on there. Right?
Yeah, as long as no one else is in the car.
That's right. Well, let's start with a little bit of background. Tell folks a little bit about Jay Block here.
Yeah, originally from Manchester, New Hampshire. It's an old mill textile town. I grew up in probably one of the worst neighborhoods in the city. I grew up in a 3-decker apartment building there. My mother, unfortunately, was a drug addict, alcoholic. She was also a truck driver. My dad was a blue-collar guy. I had a severe learning disability of dyslexia as well as a young kid I had to overcome. And later on in high school, unfortunately, my parents were arrested for drugs and lost their jobs. So that was kind of my background. And
so your foundation's probably a little different than most people here, or at least the leading up to building your foundation.
A little bit, but it was a blessing. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better childhood in some ways because it really helped me work very hard and kind of stay focused to better my circumstances in life. So in high school, I didn't have any money. My family didn't have money, so I enlisted in the Air Force Reserve in Massachusetts. I went to basic training in tech school and came back and then left a few months later for North Dakota at North Dakota State University and got into the Air National Guard there in Fargo. And it was my goal and my dream to become an Air Force officer. And I graduated with my undergrad degree. And I went off to the nuclear track. Basically, I was the guy with the nuclear codes for the country, doing nuclear alert for Minuteman III nuclear missiles.
Interesting.
I did that, which was, amazing considering my background. I remember sitting underground in Montana thinking, I'm just a kid from a poor, lower middle-class neighborhood, and here I am. Later on in the Air Force, I was honored to represent our country by being the senior officer and commander on foreign soil twice for a NATO nuclear mission in the Netherlands, and then had a rough assignment down in the South Atlantic on a British island for 13 months where it was just beautiful and scuba diving and fishing. Typical Air Force job. Also did my...
That's a remote tour, right?
That was a remote tour for 13 months. Yeah, I took my cat, and I got to meet John Travolta, who was passing through the island as well, which was kind of a neat thing.
He was probably flying in.
He was.
Yeah.
He flew in on his Qantas jet, and I had an interesting few hours with Mr. Travolta and his family. And went off to the Pentagon after that to... be on the air staff doing nuclear policy. And a little bit earlier, I volunteered. I didn't have to go, but I volunteered to go to Afghanistan in 2005 and 2006. And I was working for some senior leaders in the Ministry of Defense there in Kabul, which has been in the news a lot lately. Mm-hmm. But probably the most rewarding time in my military career was organizing and commanding numerous humanitarian missions around Kabul. And, I tell people have asked, what's the best time you ever had in the military in your career of 25 years? And probably about just 10 seconds. Okay. It was driving down the street in Kabul, and a little girl was walking to school in a school uniform, a little Afghan girl. And I'll always remember that. And, now with what's going on there because of, this idiot this guy in the White House, mm-hmm. I just wonder what happened to that little girl. And I have a family there. I was in the news on KOB last month. I'm trying to get my interpreter's family out.
So you're involved heavily with that.
Yeah.
And still work. It's
been very painful. I mean, I've been home for 15 years. I'm the only combat vet in the race running for governor. And I take a lot of that, I carry a lot of that with me to this day.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your service. And as a vet myself, I know exactly.
What branch?
Air Force as well.
Oh, God bless you, Ben. I knew I liked you.
That's how I ended up here in New Mexico. I was a weapons troop, actually. I was a bomb loader in 117s when they were at Holloman.
Yeah, they called them, I think, 461s or 462s back in the day.
Yeah, they were they flipped over to 2W1s when I was in there. But
I've been a commander of 2W1s and 2WOs and 2W1s and 2W2s.
Oh yeah, I was a 3-man in there, and I
working the flight line.
Oh yeah, it's fun stuff.
Well, I moved here in New Mexico in 2015.
How'd you end up in New Mexico?
I was the deputy group commander over at Spangdahlem for the NATO nuclear mission.
It's a beautiful base, by the way.
And I ended up coming to Kirtland Air Force Base. It was a place I wanted to come to, and I knew I'd retire, so I retired as a lieutenant colonel. Got recruited by private industry. Had a nice little signing bonus, and I wanted to stay in New Mexico. I just was here numerous times for nuclear classes and stuff, so became a nuclear weapons consultant. And at the same time, in 2016, when I retired as a lieutenant colonel, I ended up wanting to serve the community in some capacity, so I thought I'd go into politics.
Yeah. Something safe.
Something safe, yeah. And it's more toxic than nuclear weapons. I'll tell you that. But I've had a chip on my shoulder. I've been the underdog for many times in my life.
Sure.
And I ran for Sandoval County Commissioner, which was a very blue county. And my district was gerrymandered. A Republican never won. And I was going up against a well-known, well-liked incumbent.
Mm-hmm.
And I beat her and turned the county red, Republican for the very first time. And this is one of the things I love about Chaves County.
Mm-hmm.
Is when I passed right to work up there in 2018 as the first county in the history of the state to do that. Our good friends down here in Chaves County helped us out and passed it. In fact, 10 counties passed it before the roundhouse and the governor killed it.
Well, we always feel kind of like an island out here on southeast New Mexico. Us and probably Four Corners area. I mean, it's just and so we know exactly that mindset and mentality you're talking about.
Well, I'm in an oil and gas county too in Sandoval. Up in the Cuba area, we have a lot of oil and gas. So I am very sensitive to the issues that you all face down here, and I know that the governor and the state government are coming against oil and gas right now with even more regulations to put more and more small businesses out of business here.
Sure.
And they're going to end up going over to Texas because it's a free state and it's less regulation, easier to do business.
We've been a state that's been doing good at giving other states our good business for many years now. So.
Well, and our kids too, because this lottery scholarship, while I do favor it, we're subsidizing our kids to leave the state after they get their degrees and go, because there's no opportunity here for them, and we need to change that.
Sure, I want to, because obviously you see what. A lot of us see here, but as governor, we're just a state that's been so leaning blue for such a I say this on the show all the time. I feel like this state I'd love to just get back to the middle, so there's at least checks and balances. We're so far liberal that we've lost that side, and that's the part that really scares me. I mean. Say you get in here, I mean, that's half the battle. We got to get that legislature at least somewhat balanced.
Well,
I mean, how do you combat all that?
Here's what I tell people. A couple things is, listen, as a county commissioner, I've worked with Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
When it came to right to work, I've worked with Democrats who supported right to work and passed it around the state. For instance, McKinley County has 3 county commissioners, 3 Democrats. They passed it. In my county, I passed the Second Amendment Sanctuary County, combating the red flag laws. We have 2 county commissioners on there who are Dems. One of them supported me. Our county sheriff is a Dem. He supported me. So I've worked with Democrats, but I've never compromised my conservative principles. I'm not going to sit there and work with Democrats and pass bad legislation. I'm not doing it. You have a state rep who's running the race for governor right now who is passed HB 43. It's a critical race theory. It's a CRT bill. And she's also supported Spaceport, which is a $250 million boondoggle, supporting a billionaire, this guy Richard Branson, who, by the way, didn't make it into space. And, by the way, his last flight violated FAA safety rules and he was grounded. So this has been, a huge hole for taxpayers in New Mexico. That's not the type of conservative values that I support. When I am your governor, at least I can be the backstop to stupidity of a lot of the stuff coming out of the roundhouse that the governor is just rubber stamping, and it's killing this state. And you know that. I mean, we're seeing just in the population here in New Mexico with the census, we're stagnant. The other states around us are growing and doing quite well. So I'll work with Democrats, but I'm not going to compromise my conservative principles and values. And I'll be breaking out my Gary Johnson veto pen probably many times.
Sure. As obviously, you're kind of the outsider trying to get in,
Well, I'm not establishment.
Exactly. Maybe I should use better terms.
We have the state rep who's establishment. We also have another gentleman who ran for governor and decided to drop out because he went to go work for Bill Gates, and now he's back and wants to be governor. That's not me.
Sure.
I don't have Bill Gates money, and I don't have establishment money. This is a grassroots. It kind of reminds me of the Trump campaign in 2016, where he went against the establishment and he won. And, we're running our campaign at a grassroots level around the state. We've won 2 straw polls out there. The first one by 10, the second one by 27 points. You know, our message is resonating across New Mexico. This is why our campaign is gaining momentum.
Mm-hmm.
We might not have the money as the other candidates, but we have the message. And that message is when I'm governor, I'm going to do a few things right away. I'm going to sign executive orders banning vaccine passports, banning the vaccine mandate, banning the mask mandate, banning critical race theory, bringing the Guard back down to the border, reimbursing every church, business, and person who was fined under the governor's tyrannical COVID mandates, where they had to pay money to the state because they violated that, when this governor was a complete hypocrite and violated those mandates herself.
Sure.
Those are things I'm going to do right away for New Mexicans. And I can do that in the first 10, 15 minutes of my administration when I'm sworn in. And you're going to feel it right away. You're going to feel your freedoms coming back to you. You're going to feel like the government is not there to be vindictive or to come harass you at your small business. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard so many horror stories around the state, even in my hometown of Rio Rancho. And it's disgusting what the state government, what the governor has done to New Mexicans, and that stops when I'm elected.
I kind of want to ask, since we're talking about this area too, another area of contention in our state right now is our education system and things. And obviously the governor
Well, it's
made a change
50th.
here.
I mean, aren't you great with 50th? That's awesome, isn't it?
So, kind of want to ask you, if you thought about how you want to tackle the problems we have on education.
Absolutely. I'm the only candidate to have the 2019 New Mexico Teacher of the Year, Jessica Sanders, endorsed me in my education plan. In fact, she went out to Washington, D.C. and met with President Trump to talk about education in New Mexico.
People around here know who she is. Very familiar with
Oh, do they know Jessica?
She's, she taught here in this area.
Okay, she's awesome. That's
Yeah.
right. So she lives in Rio Rancho now.
Oh, yeah, she moved, but I think she got the award while teaching here and then moved up there. I think. Don't quote me on that, but we're familiar with her.
She did,
down
but we're going to keep her in Rio Rancho. Yeah,
here. you got a great ass.
we
up there.
definitely. She's phenomenal. Well, so one of the things I want to do is we have to have, in my opinion, government schools should be competing with private schools, charter schools, home schools. And I think we have to start doing that because it makes our students and teachers better. Mm-hmm. I think we have to give parents a lot more flexibility and a lot more power when it comes to one of the most important decisions that parents make is the education of their children. Mm-hmm. And they don't have that right now. So we need school choice. We need school vouchers. I understand the rural areas are different, but we totally have to. I'm not accepting the status quo with education in New Mexico. I'm not doing it.
Clearly, that's not working.
It's not working, and I'm not going to accept that. Yeah. But we're going to change the way we do education. We're going to put kids on a track. We're going to bring back the trades in schools. If kids want to go and be electricians or welders or auto mechanics, we're going to do that. And kids are also going to be out in private industry working 1 or 2 days a week, getting that hands-on experience with the academic experience in schools. We want to prepare students for the real world. And right now, we're not doing it. We're not holding them accountable K through 8 when, we should be really focused on the foundation of reading, writing, and arithmetic. And from there, you build on those skills that you should have to go down your track if it's going to be the trades or maybe finance or science or liberal arts or medical even. That's what I want to focus on. So when you come out of high school, you are prepared. Maybe you even have a certificate where you're a welder. You can go into the oil fields and make a ton of money instead of living in, mom and dad's basement playing Xbox or something. That's important to me, to prepare our young men and women that are coming out, or young kids coming out of high school, to be better prepared.
I want to change gears one more time. Another hot topic issue that people talk about. Whoever our next governor is,
well, it's me.
We'll have to deal with this cannabis stuff. Now that it's become law, it sounds like the state wants to make it law, but has no plan of action on how to actually implement this thing.
Yeah, was awful.
What are your thoughts? And what, as governor, do you try to get rid of this? Do you say, well, we already got it, we got to make something to do with it? What are your thoughts on it?
So this is on the books. This is state law. We got it. Mm-hmm. But I'm a local government control type of guy as a county commissioner. I think we should let the counties and the municipalities work it through their planning and zoning commissions. Let them work it. They know their communities better than I do.
Sure.
I don't like it when Santa Fe, when the governor sits in her crystal palace and dictates how Roswell is going to run cannabis, or how the Floyd school board is going to run that. I'm not going to do that. I believe in local government and local control. You guys will deal with it the way you think is best.
Sure. Yeah. And then I guess just for the oversight when because that's another thing. And this is New Mexico. And I've lived here about 20 plus years now. So I've been here almost as long as I've been, anywhere else, and
same here. I've lived in New Mexico longer than anywhere in my adult life since I left New Hampshire after high school.
So it grows on you.
But it grows on you quick too, by the way. You fall in love with it.
But one thing I got, and we kind of, because we live on this end, we're not far from Lincoln, New Mexico, Lincoln County Wars and that history of New Mexico. And every time I go there and start reading the panels and reading all the things that are there, the more I look at this and say, man, you want to know what's wrong with New Mexico today? Just read that. This is why. Because of, the shenanigans that were pulled by the corruption back in the day. I personally believe we've never gotten out of that. We're just in a 2021 version of what was going on in the Lincoln County.
It's funny you say that, because one of the things that I sponsored and passed in Sandoval County for the first time in the county's history was an ethics ordinance. I mean, why would you want to be honest when you're in government? And
it's not an asset in government, is it?
But we really broke, and I'm proud that I was a part of this. We broke the Patron system in Sandoval County when it comes to county government. We have we're known to be very transparent. Mm-hmm. We're known to be very strict on our procurement process. There's no shenanigans going on up there in Sandoval County. That we killed that whole culture and environment in the workforce up there. And it's real easy to do if political leaders actually have the courage and the moral aptitude to do that, and the leadership to do that. And, I am there to serve. I'm not in government to make friends. I'm there to do a job, to leave the place better than I found it.
Sure.
And passing that ethics ordinance and really hammering other elected officials, which I've done, Republicans and Democrats, which is why I don't have many friends. It's nothing personal. It's just business.
Sure.
I'm there working for the people. I'm not working for the establishment or the system.
Excellent. Well, and to be honest, I imagine the average citizen wants to see some of that. And
well, they should.
We desperately need that in this state. I feel like that we're so used to it being screwed up that you just come to expect it.
Well,
you know what I mean? And now it's the status quo.
Well, look at recently with the state rep Cheryl Williams Stapleton. I mean, this is why we need term limits. 25 years up there, and look at the corruption that woman committed. And I don't think she was in it alone by any means, because she had to have a lot of help, because she's really not that smart. So she really needed a lot of help to pull that corruption off. And when you start shining a light on cockroaches, they scatter.
Sure.
And we're very, very proud, and I'm proud where my county is in Sandoval County when it comes to ethics and ethical government.
I just saw we probably need to be wrapping this up pretty soon, but I do want to give you an opportunity to let folks, because obviously we're airing this on Monday after you'll hear it after the fair, but of course it'll be out in the fair. Where can folks reach out, want to get involved with the campaign? I know they can go online to your website and things, but is there anything here in town, or any kind of crew or organization or group of people get together to do some signage and all those kind of fun things?
We're at the fair today. This is, what's today, Friday?
Friday.
My days are blending. We're working with a gentleman down here named Jesse James Gomez.
Okay.
And a bunch of other people who are part of the Concerned Citizens of New Mexico.
Yes, okay.
Yep.
That's a Facebook group.
That's a Facebook group.
It's a closed group, but you can get in if you want to get in.
And they're very well organized, and they're supporting my campaign. But if you go to block 4 FOR NewMexico.com.
Okay.
Please sign up on our email list.
Okay.
And you can see our events, but please donate. I mean, anything helps to donate. I'd greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, you're competing against bigger war chests, and
I am.
Unfortunately, how our system works right now, the bigger war chest gets the bigger platform.
Well, the bigger war chest doesn't mean the best candidate, because these candidates that I'm running against I'm not scared of them. They're nobodies. They're nothing. I'm the guy to beat in this race. I'm the only one that can take on MLG. The others are, they get some issues of their own. They're soft. They don't have a very good conservative record, or, they're tied to Bill Gates. That's not what New Mexicans want. New Mexicans want somebody who's a fighter. And I'm the only candidate who has leadership in the military, private industry, elected office, and I've never lost an election in the great state of New Mexico. And people know that Commissioner Jay Block is a fighter, and I've gone against so many people and won every single time. I've never lost a political fight because I have no problem standing up and taking my shots against them for the people of New Mexico.
Well, we do appreciate you spending some time here. Again, go to your website.
Block4newmexico.com.
And, of course, if you're a Facebook user, Jay Block does have a Facebook page. You can like and follow, and you'll find links to the website and everything else there, too. And
well, you go to the website, there's links to my Facebook and Twitter,
Okay.
but if you go to JAYC Block, you'll see the political page.
Very good. All the young folks know exactly what we're talking about. Us older people, we kind of...
Well, we know Facebook
Yeah,
as
right.
older guys, but these guys here to my right who are my staffers, they're more Instagram and Snapchat and whatever else they got out there. I'm more Facebook and Twitter.
All I know is the other day when Facebook and Instagram went down, there's a lot of people didn't know what to do with themselves for half
Yeah,
a day.
it reminded me like being back in 1987, didn't it? Just like, hey, this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get back on the phone
Yeah.
cord with the 12 miles.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much.
Thank
It
you,
was
sir.
so great to
Appreciate
meet you,
it.
and thank you for having me.
Look forward to talking to you more down the road, and certainly as governor, look forward to hearing.
Well, you don't have the governor ever come down here.
Last time I saw the governor, I'm going to be dead honest. Last time I saw the governor, she was running for governor.
Yeah, I will be down here because you guys down here in southeastern New Mexico are the lifeline to our state, and I greatly appreciate what everyone does down here for the oil and gas industry. It's not just a New Mexico issue. It's a national security issue, and it's an economic security issue. So thank you so much for everything that you all do down here.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I know there's a lot of people that probably don't hear that enough around here.
Well, there you have a
Fan to
big
hear.
supporter with Jay Block as your governor up in Santa Fe.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. We'll talk.
Now for a Pecos Valley News update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Chavez County deputies, along with Roswell police, got an amazing sight over the weekend after a citizen reported a wrong-way driver on US 285. Deputies pulled up behind the pickup truck and immediately noticed it had been seriously damaged, but was still limping down the road going the wrong way. The driver finally pulled over. It was determined the truck had been involved in a crash where it rolled over several times. Deputies reported a strong odor of alcohol, so the driver was arrested for drunk driving. The city of Carlsbad pondering the idea of switching to a radio signal to read water meters. The city is applying for a grant to the tune of $500,000 that would pay for overhauling the current system that is requiring a human to personally visit every meter to read it. The Carlsbad City Council already approved the request to pursue the grant from the Board of Reclamation's Water Smart program. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Republicans had no need to cave. Mitch McConnell had no reason to cave. And in fact, then all of a sudden Tuesday, the spine weakens, the knees buckle, and Elizabeth Warren is right. Mitch McConnell caved. And then Mitch McConnell strong-armed another 10 people, so they had the cloture vote to allow the Democrats to raise the debt ceiling through December the 3rd. It is a complete capitulation. Now, they were threatening the nuclear option, and that, quote, scared McConnell, I'm told. Well, the problem is yesterday Joe Manchin said he's not going to use the nuclear option to raise the debt ceiling. So that was a lie in the first place. And they played a game of chicken, and the person that blinked was Mitch McConnell.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Hey, remember the saying, if you love something, set it free? Now, if it doesn't come back, it was never yours to begin with. Well, when it comes to your identity, our friends at LifeLock, they're kind of calling BS because all those nights working overtime, saving all that money, paying off all that debt, and now some identity thief wants to try and set it free. They say that's crazy talk, and we agree. Now, that's why LifeLock by Norton helps monitor your information. They will alert you to potential identity threats. If you're a victim, you'll get a dedicated U.S.-based specialist that will help fix it for you. No one can prevent all identity theft, monitor every transaction of every single business. But when identity thieves try to take what is yours, don't take it lying down. LifeLock sees the threats you miss on your own. And today you save up to 25% off your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock. Go to LifeLock.com. Use the promo code Hannity to save that 25%. That's LifeLock.com, 1-800-LifeLock.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Get ready for some very gusty wind coming our way. We have a few cold fronts moving through the area. Not much rain, if any, with those systems, but it will be windy. Low 80s today and mostly sunny skies and a little bit breezy, partly cloudy overnight, and our low in the mid-50s. Then a very windy day coming up tomorrow. Some gusts up to 45 miles per hour, mid-80s, and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. After dropping down a notch from the highest classification, maybe some folks thought that Mayfield will be kind of a meek and mild football program. Not so. Ask the Goddard Rockets. Mayfield won on Friday night 20-13. That was only Goddard's second loss of the season, and the Rockets had a chance to tie at the end. Incomplete pass from inside the 10 as time expired. So Roswell, meanwhile, took it on the chin against Dumas, Texas. Dumas wins that one 53-0. That was on the road for the Coyotes. Hagerman beats back Loving by a score of 45-6. Jonah Bejarano, 335 yards passing, 232 of those to Dorian Galvan. Dexter loses to West Las Vegas, 39-27. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street moved higher at mid-morning, the three key averages scoring modest gains. Also moving higher, the price of crude oil, the U.S. benchmark exceeding $80 per barrel for the first time in quite a while. Shares of Southwest Airlines sagging on the heels of thousands of flight cancellations over the past few days. The carrier scratched more than 1,000 flights yesterday alone, blaming the weather and air traffic control issues. Worker protests of vaccine mandates may also have played a role. 3 U.S.-based economists have won the 2021 Nobel Prize for Economics for work on drawing conclusions from unintended experiments, or so-called natural experiments. Toy and entertainment company Hasbro announcing CEO Brian Goldner taking an immediate medical leave of absence. He's been battling cancer since 2014. With business, I'm Rich Thomason.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday, to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Mays Lumber has all the hard-to-find hardwood you've been looking for. Oak, cherry, walnut, poplar, and maple. Plus, hard-to-find exotic woods like purple heart, zebra wood, ambrosia maple, black limba, and bloodwood. Perfect for that one-of-a-kind gift piece or table. Get ready with Formica and Wilson Art countertops in 12-footer custom length with installation available. Make it happen at Mays Lumber, 115 South Virginia in Roswell, serving southeastern New Mexico and beyond since 1934.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:54. I got a few minutes here before they kick me off the airwaves and Travis and Sexton take over. If you missed any part of our show, you can go back and check it out at your leisure. Log on to ksvptv.com. There you'll find our home to all of our video channels. If you'd like to check out past football games or some of our other content, you'll find it there. But if you're just looking for some of the stuff from my show, you can click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, and each show's separated by date there. And then you click on the date, and then it opens up to all the interviews that were available that day. And you just scroll down, and you'll check them out. So if you want to see what we did Friday, you'll find it there. Today's interviews, the whole show's there in its entirety, or will be when it's done, in its entirety, here in just a few minutes. And then give Tanner about an hour, 2 at the most, and he'll have the rest of those shows available by themselves to check out there. You can also see them and watch them on our 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook. You can check them out there as well if you're a Facebook user. And, of course, don't forget, you can check out and listen to the station through many different ways. The old school turn on your radio, of course, always there. But you can also catch us streaming at our website. If you go to RoswellTalkFM.com, that'll get you. You can hear the stream online, listening. You can download the app for your smartphones. Look for Roswell's Talk FM on your Android market or Apple Store or wherever you go to buy those things. You'll find it there. It's free of charge. And then also your Alexas and all that through TuneIn and through various others. You can train your Alexas to play 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, and then it'll pop right up and play on there too as well. So we can do all of that. So you don't have to be in the car or in front of a radio to catch any of our content. You can catch it all there. And then, of course, morning show and sports and all that video on demand, ksvptv.com. Just some resources there for you if you need stuff from our library of information. Speaking of information, blood drives. Vitalant, they've got many blood drives happening throughout the month of October. Their next one, their actual next blood drive will be in Carlsbad tomorrow. They're going to be at the United Way of Eddy County, the Boys and Girls Club, 206 East Pecan at the event center there, but it's United Way event, sponsored event. That'll be from 11 to 3 tomorrow at there for donations of blood in Carlsbad. Here in Roswell, on Wednesday, the 13th, they're going to have the Bloodmobile out at Mesa Middle School from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m., so you can donate blood there. Then on the 15th, which would be Friday, they will have in Artesia. They're going to be at Hotel Artesia from 2 to 5:30. And then here in Roswell, they're going to have a blood drive at the Vitalant office at from 11 to 2:30. To get an appointment, because they recommend you do get an appointment. That way you can get in, get out, keeping exposure with COVID and all that stuff down. Call or text Stephanie with Vitalant to schedule an appointment, or if you have any questions, you can call her or text her at 575-840-8178. Again, that's 575-840-8178.
8178, or you can call the office number 625-9743. Again, that's 575-625-9743 and schedule that. But they got several here up through Friday. If you can't make it this week, they'll be in Hagerman on the 19th at Hagerman High School from 9 to 1:30. On the 21st, they'll be in Carlsbad at the WHIP station, the Skeen Whitlock building there in Carlsbad. And then on the 23rd, they'll be at the Vitalant office here in Roswell from 11 to 2:30. And then the last scheduled blood drive for October will be on the 26th in Carlsbad at Western Commerce Bank from 11 to 3. You'll check those out there. I think they're giving away Halloween T-shirts at that event. So if you like the swag, that's a great way to line up there. But contact and then get on the regular list if you can. We have some heroes in our community that faithfully donate blood whenever they're able to, every couple months, or whenever they're medically able to do that. And I remember this was a few years ago, but I remember getting a chance to interview a lady who had been donating blood for back when they were United Blood Services. I think at that time she had donated over 20 gallons of blood in the course of her lifetime, and still going. And people like that, they're saving lives every day doing stuff like that. So if you got the time, you got the ability, it's a great way to do it and a great way to serve and support other people. And it doesn't really cost you, it'll cost you a little blood, I guess, but you get that back. Your body will make more, and you get free treats and all that for doing it. So definitely give Stephanie a call, get something settled, and get on a regular schedule. 575-840-8178. And even if you've been told in the past you can't donate, apply again. Talk to them again. The rules are different. Tattooing, different parts of the world, even medical conditions and things like that. There are exceptions that they can do. So just even if you've been told in the past, no, you can't, try again. They might be able to get you in. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you very, very much for allowing us to be a part of your day. Have an awesome day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Till then, take care. Have a great day.
Talk radio has landed on the all-new 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.